You're listening to episode 374 of the Major Issues Podcast, and on this episode, we catch up with everyone's favorite katana-wielding primate, Hitmonkey, to do a full recap and review of Hitmonkey Season 2. The Major Issues Podcast starts right now! Hello, everybody out there in comic book land. My name is George Serrano, aka The Don, and if you're listening to this, you can only be here for one reason. It's a brand new episode of the Major Issues Podcast, brought to you each and every week by ComicBookClique.com. And as always, I am never alone. Sir, if you could please introduce yourself.
What up, y'all? All-Star Asa. That's it.
All-Star Asa.
Started strong, finish weak.
All-Star Asa is here. He's in the house. He will be my my ghost conscience, leading me to the many places that we'll be going here on tonight's episode. But he's not alone. Other sir, if you could please introduce yourself.
Right?
Oh, very, very well done.
That's Cloudus Maximus.
That is. We do
if that
have
sounded familiar. There you go.
We do have Cloudus Maximus here in the building as well. It's a three-man booth to talk about Hitmonkey Season 2, a show that kind of went under the radar. I actually was a humongous fan of Season 1 and knew that Season 2 was in development, but I guess last year was just so jam-packed with content that this one kind of slid underneath the radar. And with people talking about Invincible as one of these great shows that deals with adult content, gore, and laughs and all that kind of stuff, I'm like, I feel like people need to start watching Hitmonkey.
There's a
lot of that stuff.
Left on.
There's a lot of that stuff in here. We're gonna do a full recap and review. So it was a 10-episode series, 28 minutes a pop. Pretty much of a breeze to kind of go through. I thought it was really fun. But before we get into some spoiler details, Asa, what is your background with this show, and what did you think of Season 2?
I'm vaguely aware of Hitmonkey as a comic book entity. I love Season 1. Season 2, I thought started strong, kind of hung back a little in the middle while it built, and then finished much like my thing, but just finished strong. Overall, it was enjoyable. We're definitely worth the 5 hours of total content that it is.
Yeah. What I found myself having to remind myself, I'm like, this is in the Marvel universe. Mm-hmm. I'm like, this show that I'm watching, this is in the Marvel universe. Like somewhere Peter Parker's like hanging out and failing a test. So no, not Peter Parker. He's too smart for that. But Cloudus Maximus, Hitmonkey. Well, you haven't been on for a while. Welcome back. Got you on talking Hitmonkey. What were your thoughts on the show in general, and what did you think of Season 2?
So I'm gonna piggyback a little bit over what Asa said, but I'd like to say I was a little bit more disconnected as far as like there was more space between Season 1 and Season 2 for me because I found out Season 2 dropped in June, July
of last year, yeah.
So that's the eyebrow raiser for me. So when I had found that out, I was like, wow. But because of that, I was able to go in almost with fresh eyes. So to be honest, there was no downtick for me at all as far as the seasons go. I thoroughly enjoyed myself between Season 1 and Season 2. So like I said before, slept on. If you're a fan of anything of the Marvel stuff and the animation stuff, and I know a lot of the stuff dropped on Plus, right? Mm-hmm. But this one right here, banger. I've been telling people about it every chance that I get. But because Season 2 is still fresh with me, I've been telling people about it still. So it's like it's a ride, bro. Monkey's my guy. You know, I'm gonna need him coming through. I know it's loosely, in my Marvel place right now, but it's like I need my mans around.
I did read the first
when it comes to the Marvel buddies, my guy makes it up there, bro. He's up there.
I mean,
you got to.
Monkey's great, and I think I want to say I read the first issue or so of Hitmonkey, and it's basically that story, of Bryce getting caught over there and getting gunned down, and then basically becoming this sort of almost a force ghost for Hit Monkey and his adventures and stuff. This second season, I feel like the biggest change, they like lean away more into like the mystical stuff in this one, superpowers and
Oh
stuff.
yeah, for
It
sure.
felt like the first season
Yeah.
was as grounded as you can be in a show about a monkey who communicates with a ghost and takes on hits and stuff. But there was a surprising amount of heart in this, and surprising amount of darkness, some laugh out loud moments in this, and then also some moments where I'm like, that was like some gory animation there. Like they went above and beyond.
Yeah, there was
to
plenty
be
of that. I
gross
like that.
here in
like
this
that.
moment. And
They
I'm just like,
they definitely didn't lose their touch for season 2.
No, for sure.
I'll say that.
It stayed on.
Yeah, super consistent. I really like that.
Yeah. And yeah, I think it just balances all its different elements well. And even if you feel like Asa, I know this has happened, it's like a bit of a lull of an episode, it's over in 25 minutes. Like it's up and it's gone.
I can fold laundry while I don't watch, but I can hear it, and that's all I need.
100%. So up front, Marvel's Hit Monkey is a wild, action-packed adult animated series created by Will Speck and Josh Gordon for Hulu, bringing the cult favorite Marvel Comics character to life. The first season was produced by Marvel Television, while the second shifted to 20th Television Animation, with Speck and Gordon at the helm as showrunners. The series delivers a unique mix of brutal assassin action, dark humor, and a revenge-fueled storyline, unlike anything else in Marvel's lineup. The series stars Ali Mackey, Olivia Munn, Fred Tatasciore, and Jason Sudeikis, Leslie Jones, and Kristen Milotti. Everything I have to say about this, I feel like it's just going to be littered through our recap. So if you guys haven't seen the show, I think all three of us are recommending it. Check it out. Especially like I posted the other day, if you are having an Invincible hangover, like you just finished Invincible and you just want to see something that it has a bunch of bloodshed
and you forgot this drop.
Yeah. I think most people
go watch
did.
it. Completely go watch. Yo, I'm not even gonna lie. It did for me. And when I realized how much time had passed between that, I was terribly disappointed with myself, bro.
Yeah, I said it didn't even make our
Terribly
schedule
disappointed
last
with
year.
myself, bro.
We were dealing with a lot last year, but we've come full circle, so we're in it now. So yeah, full spoilers moving forward. If you haven't watched this show, I would suggest to go check it out as we recap and review season 2 of Hit Monkey. But here we go. So season 2 picks off right where we left off. After helping Hit Monkey take down the Prime Minister, Bryce finds himself in hell, set for an eternity of torture. But he strikes a deal with the devil, and also on Wikipedia, it's also listed that this is Mephisto.
Yes,
I saw that. I saw that.
Well. they didn't out and out
they
say
definitely had a bunch of like outlines and blueprints for the show that's definitely available for you to go go search and go through the rabbit hole and stuff.
I don't know if they had permission because he's not showing up in Ironheart until like what 2020 2030 or something. Whenever
Jesus, out of all places for him to show up too.
2060.
Yeah, 2060, man, get ready.
That's right. We got Keith David as the devil.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Keith David as Mephisto.
That's good.
Is great. He strikes a deal with the devil. Let him return to the living, and he'll guide Monkey to take out more deserving sinners, sending better souls down below. The devil agrees, and just like that, Bryce is back as Monkey's spectral sidekick. Fast forward, and Monkey has made his way to New York City, working as a rising contract killer with Bryce still in his ear. His skills catch the attention of Eunice Jones, Bryce's former boss, who offers him a place in her roster. Bryce still resents her for the job that got him killed, but after some apologies and a paycheck, they come to terms. Jones even gives Monkey the key to Bryce's old apartment. So we kind of got a little bit of the setup of how this series is going to go. Monkey is trying to work his way up the criminal, ladder, not the corporate ladder. And Bryce has made this secret deal with the devil behind his back. I like that they did not spare any horror there. There's all kinds of weird people being tortured and bodies being dismantled. I believe this man had a hook in a hole that we probably can't repeat on Facebook.
It'll get us banned for sure.
Yeah, we'll
In
be
the band,
done.
he had a hook in the band area.
But what did you guys think of this beginning? The premise with the devil, watching Monkey basically get to a point where he gets invited by the handler, and then the handler overall, because you know, I may not be the biggest fan of her as an actress, but I loved her voice acting
She crushed
in
it.
Yeah,
this.
I love Leslie
She,
Jones, bro.
this is her role.
I loved it. I posted that
Right?
video on our Facebook because it just had me dying. Where she's like, take your clown friends and clean up your clown mess, and then get in your clown car because you're a fucking clown. And I was
Yeah.
just the delivery on
Her
that. Her,
yeah, I was just gonna say her
Yeah, this
delivery
is
on stuff is funny.
yeah. What do you think about this opener, Asa?
actually my favorite version of the opener is at the end of season 1 where he comes back and he's like, I was in hell, made a deal. It probably won't come back to bite me. No big deal. No point even talking about it. And he just moves
Right.
on
We
and then
never
you
get to
see
see
it.
his side of it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then that's how season 2 starts
Yeah, so
with
that's
him
my
making a
favorite
deal.
version of it because it's
Yeah.
way worse than they're in
Oh,
the season 2.
100%. What do you think, Jarvis?
To be fair, I was waiting for you to mention the opening because when it came to like the gore and stuff, I found myself trying to see if they really skimped out on on like being if they were just basically pussyfooting around, But bro, you saw Bryce hung up on
Yeah.
Bit roasted.
And at one point, like
yeah, bro.
he like torches him,
He
and his
torches and
skin's
he
all
sets him on
burnt
fire. His
and all that
skin melts
stuff.
and burns. Yeah, bro. I thought that was great. Marvel has a really good way of having people set themselves up to where they'll talk junk and say Marvel's afraid to go there, but when Marvel actually goes there, whether it be in live action or in animation, pretty fire, bro. I can't
Oh,
even lie. They do their thing, you
this
know.
almost feels
I
like
think I think we can stop. I think people can stop talking about them as far as that goes.
Yeah.
Because I
I
know
think
myself included. Even back in the day, I used to be like Marvel would never put something out like this for us, and thankfully they are, and we're just fucking eating it up, bro.
100%. You're saying, Asa?
no, I just think in situations like this, Marvel definitely just they'll step across that line and they'll do it with a smile on their face because
hmm
I I,
I feel like
I
they
don't
know they got the juice, and they break
exactly
it out
yes.
every time they give it to us, and it's like, oh,
It's kind of
okay.
like thinking back to the in the Punisher Netflix series, the prison scene,
Yeah.
where he's gonna cross the line and it's fine. It's just you just see Marvel going like, yeah, let's do it. Like let's do it once in a while, and then we won't do it a lot, and then we'll do it
Uh-huh.
again. It
Uh-huh.
keeps it
Just
special.
like that. Yep. The
I
balance.
almost wonder if they were able to do more with this because they're underneath the radar, right?
No,
Like
probably.
because like it's almost
I
like
feel
no one's
like
paying
I feel like
attention.
they
So it's
I
like
feel
Yeah.
like they do it because I also feel like they're self-aware. They got the ear to the streets, so it's
they
like, all
also
right.
have to be different. I mean, we've seen a bunch of adult animation at this point from the Harley Quinn show for DC, right? And then you got stuff like
Mhm.
this. Like, there's a bunch of superhero television currently that is a bit more gory. Even The Boys had that Diabolical animated series on
Yeah.
Amazon Prime. Like Marvel's gotta have something to kind of catch up. And if this is it, I'm digging what they're doing here.
Well, also I think using animation, you can cross the line just because it's like, oh, you're just drawing a picture. You're not,
Mhm.
it's not. Well, also it's not a lot of CGI, and
Yeah.
we all know how Marvel seems to feel about CGI as of
Especially
late.
last minute. Especially
Yes.
all that last minute. Right. So that night in Bryce's apartment, Monkey finds Haruka waiting inside from season one, that do-gooder cop from Tokyo. Turns out she fled Tokyo after a demonic assassin slaughtered her precinct hunting for Bonsai Mastered Sword. Knowing Monkey might be next, she stole the blade and tracked down Bryce's address. To learn more, they visit an exotic weapons dealer who reveals the sword is an ancient mystic weapon capable of possessing its wielder and possibly tracking others like it. Back at the apartment, we learn Bryce has an estranged daughter whom Jones has found, though he never dared to reach out. Meanwhile, Haruka and Jones meet under tense circumstances, but Monkey smooths things over. Jones is there to give Monkey a new assignment, but it's a setup. A bomb nearly kills Monkey, but Bryce's ghostly powers save him just in time. They realize the real target might be Haruka, who is looking for more intel at the weapons dealer's shop. So what I like about this is this first episode goes to great lengths to show that no one really misses Bryce.
Mhm.
Yeah, I that was the vibe I got too, because every
Yeah.
time he opened his mouth, everybody was just being dismissive, and you
Well,
know,
not only that, people talking about him not knowing that
They
he's
hated
yeah,
there.
him.
not also not know,
They
yeah,
hated him so much.
you know, it's crazy. You forget about that when you apply like the whole real life psychology to it. You know, like
Yeah,
yeah, you can see him because you're watching the show, but you also forget the people that are in the
yeah,
show can't see this dude
yeah. And he was like, he
because
says something like,
Because
Bryce owes me
Bryce is
500
dead.
bucks.
Yeah,
If you
and
can,
the
you
only
guys can
person
get
that
it
can
from
see him is
him.
Monkey.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so like Eunice Jones in the beginning is like, he was an asshole and he was a little bit conceited and he was a bit of a womanizer.
And
And
he
Bryce
has
is
to
like,
sit
what
there
the
and hear
fuck?
that.
Yeah, Bryce is like, what the fuck? And then when they go to the exotic weapons dealer, it's the same thing. He's like, yeah, that guy owes me like 500 bucks and he was a piece of trash and all this other kind of stuff.
Yeah.
He's like, whoa, come on,
It
bro.
doesn't. If remember, doesn't Bryce go like, "Oh, this guy's a cool guy. We
He
used to
says that
hang
about
out at night."
everybody. He even says it about the handler. He's like, I was her
Hmm.
favorite.
Yeah,
I was her top agent or whatever. She's like, I hated that guy. All that kind of
but he
stuff.
was good. I hated him. He sucked, but he was good at his job.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. uh, that's when things get wild. After finding the dealer's mutilated body, the sword starts to glow, and a mystical tiger ambushes Haruka, chasing her through New York City. Realizing the blade might be her only shot, she unsheaths it, only to be possessed by an ancient warlord, transforming into a warrior herself. She beheads the tiger before reverting back, warning that the sword fuels a dangerous bloodlust. The episode ends on an emotional note. Bryce watches his daughter from a distance, regret written all over him before Monkey silently reaches out to hold his hand. I do like how close these two are. It doesn't make any sense.
Right, right.
not
I
at
don't
all.
care.
But
I'm here for
yeah,
the bromance, bro.
They are
I'm here
definitely
for it.
bros. They are
oh,
I
definitely
want to
bros.
listen. I'm not saying my Google search has how to look up how to buy a monkey legally. But
And teach him how to shoot.
I'm asking questions nowadays. All
yeah.
right. First of all, that beheading was clean
Oh man,
AF. She has bloodlust in her eyes, bro.
Did you see when it reverted back?
it's a kitten.
It was just a
You know what?
kitten.
Yeah, it was the yeah. I was saying that for last. That's when my heart was like, oh. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
I think she's had. As is
I
me,
think
I
you
think she's
got
had bloodlust.
bloodlust.
I think
yeah.
I think she's had bloodlust since Japan, since season one. That's on the low. That's just me.
I mean,
'Cause
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a
Yeah,
little
for
bit
sure.
of like being forced to be the constant victim, and then you have a weapon like that. I wouldn't be surprised if, like parts of you are easier to manipulate because you don't want to be the victim. You want to be the person that could defend yourself and handle yourself in these situations. And many points in this show, when things are up against the wall for her, she has nothing to grab but the sword,
but
right?
the sword, yeah.
And then we're right back into it. The only thing is, now in my notes, I thought that this like warlord would be a bigger deal, I guess.
Yeah, it it
Oh,
it it
okay.
it set it up to where I was like, oh no,
Yeah,
oh
I
this
Yeah,
is
thought.
this
Yeah,
is the
that's what
big
I thought.
villain.
Yeah, that's what
yeah,
I thought. I was gonna mention that when we had first started talking about how they leaned into the mystical stuff. I like how they set that up to make us think that was going to be the bigger picture as far as the big bad goes,
hmm
and then the scope of that just gets even bigger. Well, it's not even bigger, it's just a curveball comes and it's like, oh no, there's like six other things that are just like this, and they're gonna have to, I guess, try to get it out of her hands and then get everything else.
yeah. It seems like a very cookie cutter like premise up front. Someone's after mystical items, and Haruka might be a little bit brainwashed, and we'll deal with both of those things
Hmm.
and be done. But
Throughout the
this gets
season.
way bigger, and they do a lot more world building as the show continues. So the sword is taking its toll on Haruka. Each time she wields it, she falls under the control of its former owner, a sadistic, bloodthirsty warlord. But there's no time to dwell on that now. Haruka, Monkey, and Bryce confront the handler about the setup. Like, yo, what happened, man? He put us on a mission. Damn near almost died. She swears that she had nothing to do with it, but she offers to help. Haruka isn't buying it and demands the name of whoever ordered the hit, but Jones refuses, citing confidentiality of the hitman business. She explains that every mission is vetted before it even reaches her, and reveals her source isn't an option, or in revealing her source isn't an option. What I like is she's giving this whole speech about confidentiality, and Bryce is in the background digging through her files.
Digging through,
And he finds
Shit,
exactly
this
what
is
they
just
need.
opening in the back, file cabinets
And
opening in the
she's like, and
back.
I
She's
will
just,
never. He's like, got it. All right, guys, you ready to go?
we out.
I will say the one thing that seemed weird about going from here was it felt like sometimes Haruka could hear Bryce, and then sometimes she couldn't. Because there's no way Monkey could translate for her what Bryce is saying.
Mm-hmm.
But so she just followed him what a monkey did. Like
similarly, Haruka like kind of gives answers to Monkey as if she understands Monkey.
Yes,
but she doesn't. Bryce is the only one that full gets a translation some way somehow. But there's many times where she will say something, she'll be like, "Well, yeah, that's right," or whatever, and I'm like, "Oh, can you? Wait, who can hear who, and who can talk to who?" I'm very.
No, but I had to like take a step back just because. I felt that same way because like I found myself in the same way, like, hold on. I found myself in my living room, like going, hold on. I had to do like the whole conspiracy. Who understands who, this, that? Are you the only one that understands? Are you becoming fluent in Monkey? I don't,
right.
Somebody, we got to get more, you know what I'm saying?
It's hard to track, man.
Yeah. So, I think they did, after, my nervous breakdown of like understanding who understands who. They do a they do a good job of having people trying to understand him because of how much time they have spent with him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but
kind of like Groot.
But they also have, for the most part, make it a point where Bryce is the only mofo that could probably understand him through and through. Everybody else has got to look at him for a little while and be like,
Yeah, I forgot when exactly it is, but there's a point where he gives like Monkey gives a whole speech to the handler.
and
at the end she goes, "I have no idea what you just said."
Yes.
I got no clue what you just said.
So even Bryce has a hard time once in the blue sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you would think he wouldn't because ghosts and stuff.
Actually, some of my favorite writing is when Monkey will say something and Bryce will respond to him as if we know what he's saying.
Yeah.
But
but it almost gives you context clues. Like you kind of
right.
It's some of the funniest writing to me where he's like, "Yeah, I did say that," and he's like, "No, but and it's just like, there's no way.
What do you mean that's not impressive or something like that? Like that.
Yeah. And it's such a funny way to tell a story because they're not saying anything. It's like
Bryce in this is basically Chandler and Friends in the sense that he is making jokes that no one is acknowledging because no one is paying attention. So like in the show,
in Friends, let's blow it up.
Yeah.
Let's deep dive that theory.
Yeah, because in Friends, whenever Chandler would make a joke, no one else would laugh. It's almost like he was making the joke for the audience, for the other people. And similarly here, Bryce, all of his humor is wasted on because no one could hear him. Only the monkey could hear him, and it's not like the monkey's gonna translate his joke. As a matter of fact, there's a point where Haruka's like, "I bet you Bryce said something dumb, didn't he?" Like right now, like I can't hear him, but I bet Bryce said something dumb. So Bryce tries to ditch Haruka, and he's like, "Wait, it's him and Monkey." So he's like, "What's going on here? I don't want to make this a 3-person squad." But since she's the only person that can actually speak for the team, because they're gonna infiltrate a place,
it's crazy how invested you get into this. Like for me, and it's like, what the fuck? Like you gotta fall back. You know what I'm saying? If we need anything, we'll call you. And then after she says that, it's like, oh.
She's like, okay, so Monkey's gonna walk into the place to interrogate people.
Oh shit! He's actually the only one that knows English. So I'm like, fuck. She really does. The big homie does have to come.
She gotta come, man.
And she gotta bring the sword.
Yeah. They end up reluctantly letting her tag along. Their next stop is a library where they confront a woman named Rosemary about her involvement in the hit. She plays dumb, but before she can spill anything, she's shot. I thought she was dead. With Bryce's guidance, Monkey and Haruka take down the attackers, but the damage is done. As she bleeds out, Rosemary reveals she was tortured into setting up Monkey. She had a code and would have never done it otherwise. She gives Haruka a name and just the alderman, an address, telling her to look there next. Before they can process that, she's gunned down. That's when Haruka snaps. In a blind rage, she grabs the sword, transforms, brutally slices Rosemary's killer in half, and then shifts back like nothing ever happened.
First of
Monkey
all,
and
Yes.
Bryce
first,
exchange a look. This is getting dangerous.
first of all, I am a a sucker every time she fucking takes that damn sword out, and she always has something to say every time she transforms, bro.
Yeah.
Every time there's always a piece of dialogue that's basically telling you to get ready to get your ass beat. I'm here. It's over.
All I keep thinking about is how scared she said she felt at that precinct, seeing that person with the yellow eyes come in and gun down
Yeah.
her whole
Everyone,
squad. You got
yeah.
to believe that's always in the back of her head. And this thing, even though it's possessing her, is giving her power
Yeah.
to fight back. So
Yeah.
that's got to be intoxicating in and of itself.
But the pure power it took to slice through a man completely vertically
Yo,
is
it's
really impressive.
it's funny
Like,
because I saw that shot for the trail in the trailer for season 2, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, that's probably gonna be a mean shot. And then when I finally got to that side, I was like, oh,
So somewhere in this, Jarvis had gotten ahead of me watching this, and he had mentioned that
let
there's
me
a
fit,
portion of a person being cut in half. So I thought
yes.
this was it. I was like, oh, okay, damn, that's kind of metal. But
Are we there yet? I'm sorry.
no, no,
I'm having too much of a good time right now.
no, we're not there yet. So I'm like, oh,
That's
that was.
that's
I was like, that was
the
gnarly, but we're
the
not. But I thought that's what.
alderman, right?
Yeah, but I was like, I guess
oh
that's not. Yeah,
Oh
I guess
shit!
yeah.
I
that's not
can't.
what
I
it
was like,
is.
what? No,
I'm
I don't
saving that.
remember that
I'm
one.
saving to get there.
Okay.
I want to express myself for that.
So Monkey takes Bryce to the restaurant where his daughter works, hoping to finally make a connection. But when Monkey mentions knowing her father, she just flips him off and walks away. Bryce is pissed, scolding the monkey for botching the moment. Frustrated, they head back to their apartment, only to find Haruka already there, completely possessed. She mutters something incoherent about blood and death and all that stuff.
Yeah, bro. I
And,
told you every time she says some shit, and
and
I
she
was trying to save something for the pod, but I'm like, oh, I was having too much of a good time, bro.
she lunges, she just lunges at Monkey. And I love like it. The situation is dire, but Bryce is like, oh yeah, she's fucking possessed. You know, like,
Yeah.
oh crap. Like that literally like almost half of these episodes end with him going like, oh crap. And what the hell are we gonna do now? Meanwhile, the shepherd of the aldermen gathers the remnants of their cabal, warning them about Monkey. He's already taken out 5 of their own, but one of his kind isn't interested in caution. If they want Monkey dead, they'll have to handle it themselves. Monkey barely manages to restrain the possessed Haruka before she is suddenly snatched away by a kaiju-sized caveman-like version of the alderman, complete with a massive club. Monkey and Bryce are completely outmatched, but before they are crushed, a mysterious group intervenes, using their unique abilities to attack the giant. Thinking fast, Monkey hatches a wild plan. He leaps into the creature's ear, hoping to take him down from the inside by shooting his brain. But instead of a clean kill, all he manages to do is make the behemoth like move around. Like if he shot at certain places, it would move an arm or a leg or something. It was metal as hell. Like I'm like, what is this show? What am I watching?
It was very Gen Z of them.
Yes, it was. Bryce quickly directs him to force the alderman to drop his club, which works. But before Monkey can escape his cranium, the giant suddenly shrinks down and Monkey bursts out of his skull. Literally shrinks down to the size of a normal.
That was perfect.
A
That was perfect
monkey-sized
psychology.
lump
It was wild.
in his skull.
I saw that shit coming from a mile away. I said, yo, if y'all don't get out of there, the little is gonna turn big, and you gonna pop out of his fucking eardrum.
This is the Ant-Man thing. Like
It is
all
the
over
Ant-Man
again.
thing, yes.
Yes.
But more north.
Oh my God, that was great. Yeah, by the
Yeah.
grace of God, more north. But yeah, just watching Monkey burst out of a man's skull was. I'm like, this show has not missed a beat. This is exactly the weird kind of stuff. Again, that you could probably only get away with in animation. When he wakes up, because he passes out once he
I
bursts
pass out too. That was heavy as fuck.
When he wakes up, Bryce is already yelling at him to move, but they're surrounded by the same group that saved them. Fortunately, Haruka is safe and vouches for them. Their leader, Boone, steps forward and lays it out. They're fighting the same enemy. The real threat, the Aldermen, a secret society of 8 men, each wielding a weapon forged from pieces of an ancient relic. These weapons grant them superpowered forms, passed down through generations, usually because of bloodshed. Like usually that's how it gets passed down. People kill each other because of greed. But unlike their predecessors, the Aldermen vowed to stay in the shadows, manipulating the world from behind the scenes. Boone, the leader of the group that saved Monkey and Bryce, introduces them to his team, the Assassins Cooperative. Their goal is simple: bring down the Aldermen and reclaim the mystical weapons that gave them their powers. With the weapons, they plan to create one item that Boone believes will heal humanity. They're down to just 2 relics to retrieve, and they want Monkey's help. If they succeed, they promise they can eradicate killing, a vision that piques Monkey's interest, especially with all the death weighing in on him. Matter of fact, isn't that what it is? Doesn't he confess to the handler, like, I don't like doing what I'm doing, and every death weighs deeply on me, and I'm going through like an incredible depression.
He goes through the whole. He goes through the motions of the whole thing. He opens his heart to how he really feels about this whole thing, and then it's like, well, all right.
She's like, I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea what you're saying, but I think it's interesting how both of these guys react differently to the idea that they could eradicate killing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's the only thing that Bryce is seemingly good at, so he doesn't want to get rid of it. And he also needs Monkey to kill to satiate Mephisto down there. He's made a deal with.
Feel the end of the deal.
But there's been so much bloodshed on that sword of Monkey's, even though it's supposedly like a knockoff.
It's a stepsister.
It's
the stepsister blade.
Stepsister. But we've seen Monkey kill so many people that we forget that he was just a regular monkey before he was shanghaied into this whole adventure. And now he has an opportunity, like an escape hatch just opened. And I thought about it for a second. And I'm like, yeah, bro, what are you doing? Like, you don't need to kill anybody, really. Like, you have all your beefs are kind of settled. So if you want to go home, probably go home.
There's no better time.
Yeah. And again, like, it's also like eye-opening that he admitted to understanding that he has depression and understanding that all this death is weighing on him. It was a lot. But Bryce isn't convinced. The idea of a world without killing doesn't sit well with him, and he snaps at the cooperative. With no commitment from their side, Monkey and Bryce leave, but things get worse when Bryce botches his reunion with his daughter again. She sees him for a moment, and in the chaos, spills her tray, leading to her getting fired. Back at the apartment, tensions rise. The handler and Haruka argue about whether or not to join the cooperative, while Monkey tunes them out, listening to music on his headphones given to him by Dot, the youngest member of the group. I was like, he's doing the whole like lo-fi music to study to shit. Like he's just zoning out. He put his headphones on. Everybody's arguing and shit. Meanwhile, Bryce is desperate to make things right. In a last-ditch effort, he strikes a deal with the devil, trading his soul for 48 hours in his real body and the ability to turn into a ghost at will, which is kind of clutch. The devil agrees, but with a warning: when his time is up, the payment will be something Bryce will not want to give. Bryce walks into the living room fully alive, to the shock of everyone. Later, we see the new Lady Bullseye is ready to get her revenge on Monkey. And I was like, that's where you've been, Akiko, this whole time. But what did you guys think of that huge plot point? Bryce is now tangible and can just kind of snap back.
He could do things for real now.
Yeah. Did you guys that development?
Go ahead. You got it, Travis.
All right. I was more excited about the things that we were going to be able to do now.
Yeah.
Because knowing Bryce, he was going to get into some bullshit, 2, get into some bullshit, and 3, get into some bullshit. Right?
I think that's a well.
And more, not only the bullshit, I was just excited to what I would like to say the in-ring psychology was going to look like once we started fighting and stuff.
I also think we probably could have gotten a little bit long in the tooth if we just kept doing Ghost, Bryce, and Iris.
Yeah, I think it would have
gotten very old very, very quickly. Well, I like that she's there. He's there in actual form for her to like to punch if she wanted to.
Right. I like that adds a nice little layer with things too.
Well, I think if you just the whole put salt on him and he regains his form, which honestly doesn't even make any sense. But
No, and
that's
it
not.
hurts
I'm
him.
not. But again, like monkey can wield a sword and shoot guns, so let's not really go too far into the weeds there. But I also think it was a really good way to develop the Bryce character beyond everyone thinking he's just a piece of shit.
Yeah.
We finally get some version of him who is I would say attempting not necessarily to make amends, but just to kind of explain why he's awful.
This is definitely the least selfish he's ever been in his own skin.
Yes.
Which is very important.
He's definitely trying to be at least what we can consider at least a little bit more decent, you know?
Yeah. He goes to try to actually talk to his daughter, and she's like, "Oh, so you made this all about you, and this is all
he's
trash."
like, no,
so.
yeah.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah. It was really funny to see him just like still be a fuck up. Like, sorry. Like,
yeah, because he can't even blame it on being a ghost, right?
Yeah, he
can't.
It's like, that was just you, bro. Like,
Yeah,
it's not Monkey, it's not anybody else, not her boss at the diner. It's just you.
But season 1 felt like it was a lot of growth for Monkey. And then I guess season 2 kind of that too, but season 2 feels like a ton of growth for Bryce. Like we're getting the average of all the growth from one he should have got that didn't get.
Yeah, I guess there was never a mirror
growth.
We've never really had a mirror into Bryce, right? Like he's always kind of just been shown as like this hot shot, almost like an Archer-esque character, you know, an asshole, but someone who gets results. And this is the most vulnerable we've ever seen him, as we see that not only are there people in his life that he desperately wants to reconnect with, but that he is feeling the stings of not being remembered fondly by those who he would assume would remember him fondly, that people he considered were friends and stuff. So it's all like very, very vulnerable for Bryce. And I even think a lot of his beef with the Assassins Cooperative is like ego. You know, a lot of it's like, the monkey's my friend, you know, like, what are you guys doing? And
oh, for sure. That's trying to
at
think
one point he's like,
friend.
I think he's breaking up with me. He says, because he's like, he's just like, what's going on here? He's developed a hell of a parasocial relationship with this monkey.
He
and,
kind of go ahead, sorry.
No, that's basically it.
Oh no, I would say Bryce kind of reminded me of the Hawkeye the Fraction run, where he's like trying to get the apartment complex and he just keeps screwing up and everyone kind of all the Avengers kind of hate him and Kate Bishop hates him, or not hates him, but like he's not dependable, and he just it's what it reminded me of. Like we finally get like I don't know. Sorry. Fun.
No, you're right. But yeah,
fizzled out.
I was very interested that that there is like to me this was always just going to be like a Kill Bill-esque blood-soaked revenge story, and the fact that the co-op shows up and is offering like a way out was like a detour that I didn't think the show was going to take, or even like kind of offer to take. So I think all that stuff is pretty interesting too. I'm trying to see here.
First of all, I don't know about y'all. When the co-op came by, I was with it until I laid eyes on Bryce, and Bryce makes me nervous, right?
Mm-hmm.
His demeanor makes me nervous.
Oh,
I kept telling Monkey not to trust him, but he didn't want to listen.
Well, Monkey's essentially a child. He's the
naivety
that's Monkey has.
I was like, listen, bro, they got too much relic going on right now.
Yeah, like
something's off. I don't, and
I just realized I missed a section of the previous episode. So when we were talking about Rosemary going, we went to the library, got the information from Rosemary. Rosemary's intel leads the team to a top secret club where the ultra wealthy indulge in hunting and eating exotic animals.
Oh yes.
Oh, you missed the Alderman.
This is the Alderman.
Yeah.
Haruka sneaks in using Monkey as a cover and slips into the dining area just as Charles Lehigh, the Alderman, takes the stage. Things go south fast when a chef tries to carve into Monkey, and he understandably loses it, blowing their cover. Haruka draws the sword, transformed, and charges at Lehigh, only for him to reveal a golden ornament of his own that lets him morph into a demonic beast. This man's like yelling and popping people's brains, and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, this is good. This is getting crazy. Just when things look bad, a gothic child appears out of nowhere and rips the demon Alderman in half.
Ah,
It's gnarly.
At one point, when a bunch of cops come, Bryce puppets both pieces of the Alderman
hell
together.
yeah.
Oh, yes.
That's my favorite part of that whole episode. I don't care what nobody
Uh,
says.
I forgot about that.
The policeman looks, he's like, oh my God. And the cut is the alderman being essentially put back together from being split
Yeah.
down the freaking middle. And then the next cut is Bryce is the one that's actually putting him together. It's just what I like to call the in-ring psychology is that the humans don't see Bryce, so it's a fucking whole
And
body.
it's still Bryce's voice, like Bryce trying to talk on behalf of him, and like,
Yep.
was it Weekend at Bernie's him?
Yo, oh my God. I so there are a lot of things, there's clever ways they messed with his like ghosting to make things actually super clever and super funny in times of,
Yeah, you know what's crazy? Like whenever Monkey's in trouble, it's not like minor trouble. Like again, this
Yeah.
guy was yelling and popping the brains of people. If Bryce wasn't able to put his hands around Monkey's head, it would have burst.
Hmm.
Like these are the constant dangers that this damn monkey is dealing with, and that's what it started with. They needed Lehigh alive for answers, and because they couldn't get them, Haruka got madder. She got madder. She got possessed, and then we dealt with the stuff with the co-op where she got snatched, and the co-op
Hmm.
showed up to save her. So Bryce, like I said, he attempts to reconnect with his daughter. It goes horribly wrong, spiraling him into a destructive destructive bender that causes him to lose 12 hours of his time on Earth. I was like, bro, you're already messing this up.
Yeah.
Yeah, out the gate, screwing up.
For 1/4 of your time is down. Haruka then shows up with the lead on one of the remaining aldermen, and the trio tracks him down. Despite being powerless, Haruka and Bryce help Monkey to try to take down the alderman, but he's too strong. He guns down Bryce before escaping. However, Bryce can't die. The cooperative arrive, but they're too late. Back at their headquarters, they chastise Monkey and his crew. If the aldermen now know that they're being targeted, it makes their mission even more dangerous, especially with this particular alderman who has the ability to see 2 minutes into the future, making him almost impossible to trap. Bryce loses it, insisting they don't need the co-op's help, but then he reveals he might know someone who can help. Snail, an old friend who can stop time, though it ages him each time he does. Meanwhile, the new Lady Bullseye narrowly avoids being killed by a man trying to make a name for himself by taking out the original Lady Bullseye. She's saved by her predecessor in ghost form, shocking her. What do you guys think of Ghost Lady Bullseye showing up to, we're getting more and more ghosts as this series continues. And what do you guys think of this whole plan with Snail, this dude that seemingly ages in exchange for the ability to slow down time? I like at one point Bryce is offering him money. He's like, I could rob anybody I want to. Like, what do you think?
Like, what
I
you
need something a
doing?
bit,
Yeah,
I need something a bit more. It all kind of boils down to a favor.
but but then when he does it, he's like, I gave him that money, and it's like, well, so the money was the answer at the end of the day. But my question is, does every hitman, are they all be able to become ghosts? Like,
Oh,
like,
what makes
That's a
people
good, yeah.
ghosts?
what makes the
I
things
wonder if it's
eligible to be ghosts?
It's funny. I was gonna ask that same thing because we don't see her get turned into a ghost at all, do we?
well the
I
the old the old
I can't
adage is
remember.
usually it's people with unfinished business on Earth, right? So I don't know
Yeah,
how
True,
far that
true.
stretches, and I don't even know what I get. No, I don't even know what Lady Bullseye's
yeah. Like
beef.
I feel
But
like
but that's what
I
I'm
feel like
saying. Yeah,
that's like the bullseye thing is like they finished the business.
Yeah,
Like, and if
yeah,
they don't,
that's
it's
true.
because
That's
they
true.
died.
yeah. She
Or
would have went to
I mean,
Valhalla anyway, or
yeah.
whatever. So I don't know why she cares. But it was cool to see her there. Akiko looks a little bit like she's got herself into some hot water here, but she quickly gets
Guess
used
with the
to the
program.
yeah gets to the program and gets used to the mantle of being a deadly assassin. But yeah, I'm like we're full on superpowers now. We're
Yeah.
full on superpowers, mystic relics,
Yeah, we're here now.
kaiju. We had an entire team of people with superpowers. So I think all that's interesting.
So but one thing I have. So you said you only read the one. I wonder if that group is actually in the comics, or if they're real, or if they just made them up for the show.
I did
I
see
mean,
that a couple of them are comic characters, but I wasn't sure if the actual
yeah,
Assassins co-op is
it's
a
a
comic book
thing.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the only comic person as like again, I'm like a casual comic book. It was the Silver Samurai from season one.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I didn't recognize any like major characters.
Yeah, and almost the point of this show in many ways is that it doesn't have to like stick to a hard line of what we know, right? A lot of the fun
Yeah.
is that now we have a lady bullseye. That's just what it is, and we'll
Oh, I guess
try
and
to
Bullseye. Yeah.
yeah, and bullseye, so the co-op attempts to take the aldermen down by themselves, but they nearly die. Fortunately, Snail uses his powers to give Monkey, Bryce, and Haruka a crucial advantage. He resumes time, but is bribed by Bryce to slow it down just one last time, allowing Bryce to kill the alderman himself. The co-op congratulates Monkey on the victory, but in hell, the devil reveals his plans to cash in on his deal with Bryce, and it seems pretty sinister. Fortunately for Bryce, a vulnerable confession to his daughter softens her heart, and she becomes open to the idea of him being a part of her life. But with only 24 hours left in his deal, time is running out. What do you guys think of this moment of Bryce finally getting through with his daughter? You both are parents. Are kids this difficult?
Yes.
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 This is the answer. Yes.
Not that they're
Yeah.
difficult, they don't have the experience points necessary to understand perspective. You not understand perspective, but have a certain perspective.
Yeah.
But was this vulnerable enough for you guys? Do you think this would have softened your opinions on the man?
I mean, I'm probably a little more grudge holdy than I probably should be, but
Okay.
it did feel like he meant it.
Yeah.
Like more than what he said. Like you could almost feel the words were real. Because he was even like, I'm not even here. I guess I just want you to know that like I fucked up. Like that was pretty much the whole gist of it. And I think that at the end, I do like her turnaround and how she was like, I'm just glad you didn't try to buy me off. And I thought
Yeah.
that was really funny. Like,
Mhm.
At least he has, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. But even in his apology, there is no piffy one-liners. There's no sarcastic kind of joke. There's
Mhm.
no something to diffuse or deflate the situation so he doesn't look too vulnerable. He kind of just lays it all out, even like regardless of what her reaction is going to be. This is something that he wanted her to know, and I think she felt that. I think that's how they're able to mend that bridge there. And it's not every day that your dead dad comes back to life and apologizes to you and asks
yeah.
to be back in your life.
Yeah.
But,
I've literally been through hell to see you.
yeah, I think
Like,
that's important to say. We get an episode that kicks off with a stylish retelling of Akiko's tragic origin. Orphaned by a fire, she grew into a disturbed, bullied child who eventually snapped, brutally attacking one of her tormentors and getting locked away in a sanitarium. Years passed, her sanity unraveling until her uncle Shinji freed her, giving her years of love, mentorship, and achievement. That is, until he was shot and killed by Monkey. Now, as the new Lady Bullseye, she's seen trying to dispose of a body of a man she just killed, carrying on her own bloody legacy. He just kind
Was
of
that
like
was
left her
was
there,
that
huh?
the was that the was that the was that the shot where she was chopping him up in the
Yeah,
bathtub?
with the
yeah.
saw. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and they're kind of
Because
always
it's
showing that there was always a little bit of a screw loose
so
with
so that's the thing.
Yeah.
So that's I was just about to jump into that. It kind of shows you that she 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 always had a screw, not always, well, I guess you could say always had a screw loose, but it's like she takes up the mantle for Lady Bullseye, right? But
Mhm.
because of how she is in season one, um and because of the things that happen in season one, when you go into season two and she picks up the mantle as Lady Bullseye, it's kind of like, can you really do that?
Yeah,
I
Like,
agree.
that's a big jump.
you're with it. I can tell you're with it, but can you follow through? You know what I mean? And I think that that little piece highlighted a little bit of a way where she is, well, it prepares us for her to be able to go through with the follow through. You know what I mean? So I thought that was pretty cool. So if there was any doubt in your head, by the time that's already done, there's no doubt that she'd be able to cross that line. So you get through the rest of the episode going like, oh shit. Now you're more shook every time she comes around because it's like, is she gonna catch a body? Is she not?
Yeah.
Is she gonna catch the body of
Oh,
somebody that
and
she
like
that she
every
messed
time
with? You know what I mean? So it's like, oh shit.
I want to say that she was shown as being fairly sane in season 1. So
Yes,
Yes,
that's
yeah, very
yeah.
much so.
So
It's
even if you catch that flashback, it's even a little bit surprising. But
they got
still,
it was much
Prime
needed
Minister had
because
to go.
oh, he did have to go. But also like they did have to make it a point because I felt the same way. I'm like, oh, it's cool that she's picking up the new mantle, but like
Yeah.
the difference of the
But you
two in skill
need,
set is
yeah, but you need
completely
a little bit. You need a little bit more for that to push her through to the other side.
to make the heel
Yeah.
So
turn
that,
believable
yeah.
as
And so you can make it, and so you can convince yourself too. Not
especially
convince
as an
yourself, so that way
assassin.
you can
Yeah,
be convinced.
but I can put on a bullseye mask. Doesn't mean I can be bullseye.
Yeah,
I mean that's
100%.
that. I think that to me was the weirdest part. Where it's like I didn't know it was just like a title. I thought like you had to. I mean, I thought you were born with that kind of
Yeah, maybe it's
shtick.
Maybelline. I
Yeah,
Right?
feel
that's
I feel like not only like you were talking before about like whether or not assassins become ghosts and stuff. I think another interesting thing is that like Lady Bullseye died and no one knew.
well, one
Well,
guy
shit.
did, but only
Well,
because
he
he was.
eventually found
Yeah,
out
he's
that there was a
Yeah.
dead.
new one, and now he's
No,
dead.
to be honest,
Now he's dead.
how the kids say fucked around and found out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So.
man.
hell for sure. There's a lot
Uh,
of this show was fucking around and finding out. Like,
yeah, it is. Um, Meanwhile, the handler is furious. Rosemary's death has set off a domino effect, costing her clients left and right, and now she has a bomb that she has no use for. We'll get back to that. Bryce, however, couldn't care less about her problems. He's focused on fixing things with his daughter, and so he asks her to hire Iris, hoping to get back on her good side. She considers it and offers Iris a job as a crime scene cleaner, someone who tidies up crime scenes after hits. Bryce is horrified, but to his dismay, Iris loves the idea. Um, where's the disconnect between Bryce wanting Iris to work for, work in the business that he's in, but not this? Where do you guys think the beef? Where do you think the beef
In
is?
my head, I'm like, bro. So then where?
Yeah,
yeah,
like if you don't want
it's
her to kill
this or
people,
The
killer.
yeah,
whole
Like,
shit is illegal. This whole thing is illegal. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. It's like I went to IHOP to
You-
ask for a job for you, and can you believe they wanted you to wait tables? It's like
yeah.
that's what. There's only so
So
many jobs I can do
even
there.
if you get a job, in that line of work, it's still illegal.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I thought I thought his hesitance was strange because you could assume that it's because he doesn't want her to be nowhere near the life, but he literally brought her to the front door.
Yeah.
So I don't think he gets
It's
it.
I just want to say it's the protectiveness and the dadness
Yeah,
of it all. That's all it is.
he thought she was gonna push paperwork, I guess only, and now she has to
But
see
she
the bloody
pushing
door. And
And,
brooms, mop. I mean, bloody
brooming
mops and
bloody mops.
yeah,
bloody brooms.
in
Sounds like the name of a British rapper's
Bandwidth?
album
Oh,
cover. Bloody mops and bloody brooms, love.
uh, has the scene happened yet, or do you recall? Or I think it's a comedy scene where they're asking her about they're asking Eunice about flowers, and she's just like, this is fake, right? And
Oh no,
like
I think
that,
it's past. That was good
yeah,
though.
that to me was one of the funniest scenes. Like asking about flowers, and she's like, none of this is real. Like it
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
I guess that Leslie Jones's delivery in certain cases, she's
yeah,
not.
bro.
I don't know
Her
her from
delivery,
a lot of
her delivery,
voice
everything
acting,
from yeah.
If
but
you told me she just like she got to read everything and just make it up on the spot, and they just wrote her mouth saying that, I would believe you. Like
yeah,
it's very well done.
it was really really good. And then like they're dealing with that stuff over there, getting Dot the job and all that kind of stuff. Monkey's chilling. He's at the park with the co-op. They're all just hanging. They open up about their past. Dot's family died when their record-breaking particle accelerator exploded, an accident that also gave her powers. Amara is the daughter of Erasmus, an ancient Greek sculptor who dared to claim his marble statues were more lifelike than the god's own creations. So the god punishes arrogance by turning his only daughter into a living immortal statue. We have Double Tap, who joined the co-op after battling massive PTSD.
The gun
Um,
guy.
but curiously, Boone keeps his past to himself, simply stating that they all need a mental health day after tackling the last alderman. Later, Iris starts her new job cleaning up a brutal crime scene. Bryce was hoping that she'd be disgusted enough to quit. He even like kind of slips homeboy some money to be like, yeah, like really give her like the worst room
Yeah.
ever so she could be out over it. But instead, she loves it, and his plan has backfired spectacularly. Gang, gang. I also start to realize that no matter you could do a million teams, you can't stop falling into like the same tropes. I'm looking at Amara and I'm like, that's Queen Maeve. That's Wonder Woman. That's
Mhm.
like that's just Greek,
Mhm.
the Greek statue and all that kind of stuff. Like you're just gonna double tap his Deadshot or a Deathstroke
Yeah.
or uh Bloodsport.
Who's the
Bloodsport was
gun
it?
guy?
Bloodsport. I can't remember the dude's name. Who was Idris Alba? That was Bloodsport, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's Bloodsport.
Okay, just making sure. So yeah, so now for some reason, because his daughter has a job, Bryce lashes out at everybody in the apartment. Um, that's the really, really funny, like the thing about the yogurt, the yogurt or whatever.
Yes.
He throws a big ass fit about yogurt, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to stop the end of the world. It's already enough time to deal with your freaking yogurt." But yeah, it's just him being ticked off at something else, and obviously taking out on those who dare to want to be around him. Monkey, fresh off a day with the co-op friends, takes note that like, yeah, this guy's kind of a jerk. I just had a great day, and I'm coming home. He's like, hey, I think when he comes, like, and what are you doing here? All you do is come here and take or whatever. Like as soon as Monkey walks in, Monkey's like, yo, what the hell? I'm catching strays. This is some bullshit. But he doesn't dwell on it too long. Monkey doesn't, because a text from the handler sends Monkey to her location, only to find her tied up. She barely gets out a warning. She's here before Monkey can react. Akiko, now fully embracing her role as Lady Bullseye, opens fire. The two go head to head in a brutal fight, but in the end, Akiko is knocked off the rooftop. I'm just now realizing some parallels. I guess this is the only way you can stop her, is to knock her off
Yeah.
and make her fall off of a long drop and a sudden stop. So she crashes onto a car below. She survives and she's taken to Boone, who reads her mind and declares that she's completely changed. Like this woman is not worth
I can't even
bringing
lie. I
back.
thought that was it.
Oh, I mean, it kind of
It should have
probably
been.
I thought that was it. She
yeah,
ate that
she's
shit.
not a super soldier to my knowledge, but who knows, man?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, oh no, she's done.
That serum
She's
got
done.
around back in the day.
She's the worst bullseye person of all time. She's done.
She didn't miss a lot of those shots that she took with that machine gun.
She didn't, but every time somebody's name Bullseye or has a superhero name that indicates that you do not miss or you're
You
not
miss a lot.
supposed to miss, and every time you miss, I fucking holler.
A new standard has been set. Unless you're bouncing pencils off of walls, you ain't bullseye to me, man. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like unless you
And
throwing
you gotta make
bugs.
the hit. Fuck
Yeah,
that.
oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Boone understands all too well, and finally he reveals his own past. Because he's saying that old girl's too far gone, so they should probably get rid of her. So to kind of show Monkey what he's talking about, he reveals that he and his brothers, Slike and Colt, were once child celebrities known as the Galaxy Boys, a superpowered trio. Their fame led to them being recruited as state-sponsored assassins, as you will. It's like the Hanson kids getting
The Jonas
contract.
Brothers.
Yeah, becoming
The
contract
Jonas Killers.
Getting
Yeah.
recruited by the government.
Contract killers, the Jonas Brothers. So, their fame led to them being recruited as state-sponsored assassins, but the work shattered them, especially Colt, who became dangerously sadistic. And then Boone hints that they eventually had to take care of their out-of-control brother, but he doesn't say how. Which all leads you to believe. And like I said, it took him this long to kind of confess to what his origin was already, so I'm looking at his ass sideways.
Yeah, I was already looking at. I knew he was shifty once I see the bags under his eyes.
Oh, yeah, he was always kind of looking like he was smoking or whatever.
Right? Oh, never sleep. Can't get me. Can't get me.
Yeah, I like how even when they met, he tries to give Monkey something to drink or whatever like that. And Monkey flips out and hits him and runs away. Despite everything, though, Monkey still visits Akiko's bedside. Meanwhile, Bryce, drowning his sorrows at a bar, feels completely useless in his daughter's life. Haruka, however, gives him some much-needed advice, pulling him out of the funk, and he tries to kiss her.
Yo, you saw that shit?
That was so
I did that.
This is why women think they can't be nice to men. All she was doing was being like, "You're sad, bro.
Yeah.
Let me get your
Right?
vibes up."
Trying to
He's
be
like,
there for
"Ugh."
trying to be there for his boy, for her boy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who gives her a hard time and shit.
And
And
that's
then
not. I mean, that's not even her
I'm
boy.
misery
That's
at
her
the entire
boy's boy.
situation.
that's
That's
her
not her
friend's
friend.
friend.
That's her friend's friend.
Yeah,
She's
her
friends
friend's
with
friend.
Monkey. All right.
Yeah.
She
That's
tolerates
true.
Bryce. She's friends with Monkey. Most people are friends with Monkey and tolerate Bryce. That's how most of his relationships end up happening.
It's funny
So
because I said that same thing. I'm almost that same thing when he leans in. I said, "Oh," I said, "Wait, well, no,
you're
let's
reading
wait.
this
No, you
all
don't think
wrong,
this is
bro.
that? No,
Yeah.
no."
Yeah. This is
I'm
not
glad.
that time.
I'm glad she said something about it. That shit made me laugh.
Yeah. And then like no, like I'm not gonna say no harm, no foul. Don't just go around doing this kind of shit. But I
Right,
like that like it never came back up again. It doesn't become a plot
straight
point or
up.
anything like that.
Uh-huh.
I dig that it was just a lapse in judgment. Elsewhere, Akiko wakes up only to be greeted by the ghost of original Bullseye. She offers to train her, promising to help her exact revenge. Meanwhile, the shepherdess is done waiting in the shadows. Now working alone, he reveals his true power, enlarging regular animals and possessing them to do his bidding. His next creation, a monstrous bird, which he sends monkeys away. I will say, I absolutely love the design of the shepherd. That's a
Oh
cool
yeah, it
ass
was really
design.
cool.
Yeah,
Like that cattle, that bull skull, and then the staff with all the skulls
yeah.
around it melded together or whatever.
Yeah, that was pretty. That was pretty gnarly.
I think he was the coolest looking alderman.
Yeah. I mean, they all was just like regular dudes until they became
Well, until they used their powers.
and became weird dudes. So Monkey and Co-op clean up the mess Lady Bullseye left behind at the handler's place. This is when she calls him a clown and tells him to leave. Uh, and then a monstrous bird arrives, but not to attack, but to deliver a dinner invitation from the shepherd, the last alderman, who holds the final relic. The team boards a private jet to the given location, but senses a trap. Bryce volunteers to scout ahead. Turns out, by night, the shepherd is a shadowy puppet master, but by day, he's Albert Rinkov, a world-renowned artist who once ruled alongside his now-dead alderman brothers. When Bryce tries to sneak up on him, Rinkov senses him immediately. Realizing the co-op is too cautious to approach, he invites Bryce inside for dinner. Over a pleasant meal, Rinkov muses about how evil never truly dies and how exhausted he is by the alderman life. Then, without warning, he shoots himself in the head. Did any of this surprise you, gentlemen?
I will say, I was like, oh, it's definitely a trap. And then he blew his own brains out, and I'm like, oh, that's a way to tell a story.
Open and shut case, guys.
Like,
Hey,
hey,
well,
good.
time to go. We're good now.
Yeah, open and shut. I did it all. We've got it all done. Yeah, I was super shocked, and I mean, whenever somebody pulls out a gun, I'm always, even though there's other people in the room, I'm always assuming the shock value thing is that they'll shoot themselves. So I'm just looking at him to decide like what's going on here. He was talking very much about being exhausted, being tired of doing this kind of stuff. But his wife Valerie, unfazed, she knew that this was part of the plan. Like she knew that this was going to happen. She picks up his
Yeah.
staff, and she immediately becomes the next shepherd. Bryce tries to warn the co-op, but it's too late. Valerie unleashes monstrous demonic scorpions on the team. As the battle rages, Haruka and Double Tap find themselves in a cave, fighting off more of the shepherd's twisted creations. During the fight, Double Tap shows off some of his high-tech gear, which includes goggles that switch between night vision and heat vision. When they activate, his eyes glow yellow, exactly like the man who gunned down Haruka's squad while searching for Bonsai Master's sword. The memory stuns her, nearly getting her killed, but she doesn't say a word, choosing to keep her suspicions to herself. Very smart. Very smart, girl. Meanwhile, Bryce's daughter Iris throws a going away party for Buddy, the cleaner she's replacing. She gets super drunk, hooks up with someone, and rants about how much she hates her dad. Buddy, trying to defend Bryce, shares how Bryce always made sure he was never alone. The words seem to land until Iris promptly throws up.
My favorite part of that scene is like after the party when they're all like walking, like she's like walking, like doing like a walk of shame.
Yeah.
The Leslie Jones' character goes like father, like daughter.
That's
Yeah, when
messed up.
she's walking away, right?
Yeah, like
No, I liked like you really put your foot in your mouth last night. And she's like, "What do you mean?"
Okay,
He goes,
her jaw
"No, we paid
hurts.
you $20, and you put your foot in your mouth." And she goes, "Oh, my jaw." Really, really, really funny stuff. And we see that she's just like her dad. She's just in many, many, many ways. She's just like her pops. Back in the fight, Bryce helps the co-op take down several of the Shepherd's beasts, even though tensions between them are still high. But things take a turn when Monkey is possessed. He transforms into a King Kong-sized monster under the Shepherd's control. He immediately turns on his team. Bryce tries to reach him, but it's no use. Boom steps in using his mind control powers to tell Monkey he needs to stop giving so much of himself to others and make his own choices. The words finally break through, allowing Monkey to regain control just enough to smash the shit out of the Shepherd against some rocks.
Yeah, Allah,
yes.
Yo, Allah, Hulk
God.
and Loki vibes right there, bro.
Just like, and they show it all. It's not like one of those things where they
Yeah.
just show like the shadow of it happening, and
Yeah.
then they show the body. Like they're showing.
I like when it happens, and then after a while they just cut to Monkey's face, and then you just get blood splatter all over the screen.
And that's nothing. Up until like the only episode I really wasn't on his side was when he goes to go try to get the sword back.
Mhm.
But this entire time, like I'm in for Monkey. So like whatever he's feeling, whatever he's going through, you are justified, bro, because you are literally a pinball in this game that other people are playing and getting knocked around and being made to do all this other kind of extracurricular shit when you probably just want to be back with your other monkey homies. So I really dug that, and it gets sadder. Like later when Boom goes into like his origin and stuff, like you see that kind of death has always followed him in some way, shape, or form, and it's led him to be ostracized even in his own tribe. So he doesn't feel like he fits in with Bryce. He doesn't feel like he fits in with the co-op, and then eventually you will realize that he never felt like he fit in even with the other monkeys. So then he reverts back to normal after murdering the Shepherd. With the final alderman defeated, the co-op finally has the last relic, and they celebrate with Monkey and Haruka. But privately, Haruka pulls Bryce aside, revealing her fear. She thinks Double Tap was the man who attacked her precinct searching for the sword. Worse, she's beginning to think the co-op may not really be the good guys. When Bryce asks what they should do, Haruka makes a call. They need to steal the sword before the co-op can use it to unite the relics. She sneaks into the vault, takes the sword, and disappears. The episode ends with the handler, Haruka, and Bryce heading towards a secluded home in Montauk, preparing for whatever comes next. And I had to go back from the next episode to write that because I had no idea where they were going, and I had no idea what the hell it was. They shot the scene, and they're like just driving to a place, and I was like, was I supposed to know what that was? And then it goes like the episode ends. I was like a beach. First notes were like beachfront place, a place near the water, and then when it finally revealed, when she's like, "You don't even get to go to Montauk. That's my special place or whatever." I was like, okay, they've at least
That's my sanctuary.
They do that a lot in this show, where they will present an idea and then just act on it. Because even in the beginning, when they were like, "Oh, the shepherd can take over animals," someone was like, "Well, let's hope." And it's really smart to take Monkey with us. You know, like it's brought up this idea that he might be mind controlled. So they're really smart about that. But we are coming up on the final episodes here. I believe we're on episode 6. But meanwhile in Montauk, the handler and Haruka are preparing for war. They booby trap the house, expecting trouble, and soon get back up in the form of Iris. The handler has called in favors from other hitmen, but none of them show up. But Iris. So fortunately, the handler has a mini arsenal tucked away, enough to help them hold their own if push comes to shove. As they set up, Iris, Bryce, and the handler and Haruka share a calm dinner. One last moment of peace before the inevitable fight. That peace shatters when Monkey arrives, slipping past the traps with ease. I like how he just like he's looking at them like,
are you guys like, fucking serious?
Like the knives fall and he's like just stands and he steps over it just like it's easy.
He's like, who is this supposed to stop?
When they're setting it up and Bryce is like, you know we're trying to stop the best there is, right? Like yeah. That was my favorite. They tried to Home Alone him.
And this is like my heart is tearing here. Because I know why Monkey's here. And I know I know he thinks what he's doing is right. But we also have knowledge that these guys may not be all that they say they are.
Hmm.
But this miscommunication is tearing me apart.
Yeah, straight up, straight up.
Uh,
Monkey pulls up to the when Monkey pulls up to the crib. I feel completely different from when everybody is setting up the house, booby
mm.
trapping the house, than when Monkey pulls up to the house. When Monkey pulls up to the house, it's like fuck. I'm
And then,
like in my heart, you can feel how still my heartbeat is. You know what I mean? It's like shit,
Yeah.
man.
It was like, hey, whose house do you want to go to for Christmas? Mom's house or dad's house? And it's like, oh man, I don't do I have to pick one? I'm like,
yeah,
why can't we just be a family?
yeah,
Like so yeah,
everyone get
this is the
together,
worst.
man. And also, this scene and like several others when he's like fighting Bryce, I get a like an anime influence. I get like a samurai influence. Like when he walks up to the house, he's the only one there. There's nothing behind him. The wind is just blowing
Uh-huh.
the grass. Just seems like a bad mofo walking up to the house. And you know who it is? It's Monkey. But Monkey's always been on your side, so it's always cool to have one of the deadliest assassins out there when he's on your side. But now that he's walking towards the house, I'm like, oh, this is the house is gonna go. Good thing is he's not looking for a fight yet. He urges them to hand over the sword before things spiral further. Haruka lays out her theory to him that the co-op isn't as normal as they claim, and that Double Tap might have been the one who massacred her precinct, but Monkey doesn't want to believe it. When he suddenly lunges for the sword, Bryce yanks him back with his ghostly powers. The tensions explode into a brutal, no-holds-barred fight. Monkey and Bryce finally unleash all of their pent-up aggression towards one another, tearing into each other. Mid-battle, Bryce lets slip about his deal with the devil, and Monkey goes bananas. He flips. Come on, I can let that one lay
Waka
there.
waka.
Waka waka. But he flips out. Monkey flips out. Okay, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. He already was on the co-op side prior to this conversation because he felt like, just like Boone said, he had been giving it up too much to people like Bryce, to people like the handler, giving his
And now you're
life
gonna tell me this bullshit?
and now you're gonna tell me the only reason why I'm killing people is because you've made some sort of deal with the devil to get your ass out of the fire? It's
Dick
all
move,
rightfully
bro.
earned anger. When Iris tries to intervene, Bryce uses his abilities to lock her inside the house, desperate to keep her out of harm's way. So these two are like fighting, going at it, saying a bunch of hurtful things, doing a bunch of hurtful things, and then you just look like in the horizon, and Ghost Bullseye and Lady Bullseye just walking up.
Just pop, just pulling up, right? By the way, the fight between Bryce and Monkey didn't need to be so fire. I'm just saying. It
Like
didn't
I
need to be
said,
so fire.
it hurt my feelings.
See, I
It
dug
did.
it.
It did hurt
Like,
my feelings. I dug the shit out of it too. I
no,
feel like,
I mean,
but
we finally
it
got
was
to see how
yeah,
badass Bryce actually was.
yeah. It
Like
was
we've
that
heard
was
he's
heat.
really good, but like
That was
you
heat.
see, like he's like the dude you
Yeah,
want to call.
I enjoyed that a lot. Also with the combination with his ghost powers.
No,
So
yeah,
I was hoping to be able to see that in full force once he made the deal, so I'm doubling back to what I said earlier too. I knew that was gonna come eventually, but I just didn't know when or how.
It's a very interesting piece of characterization, right? Because um, throughout this season, Bryce has been wondering whether or not he should stand for various things,
Hmm.
right? And in this moment, he is standing in between Monkey and the destruction of humanity. But I believe in his mind, he's standing in between Monkey and his daughter,
Hmm.
who is
yeah.
part of humanity, right? Like that's the only part of this world,
Because at
if it were
because
to
at
go,
yeah,
that he would care about.
because
So, like,
at this point he keeps checking his hand clock, right? His
yeah,
palm
Hmm.
clock. So but also at this point he's checking it very often.
yeah.
So we get shots from that, from in between of him doing stuff and stuff like that, to him
And
going
it's tracked to him that the more he seemingly gets on with his daughter, the further Monkey is getting away because of his attention being shifted.
right.
And he even like equates it to like a breakup. Like Monkey's like icing him out or giving him cold shoulders and
Uh-huh,
shit.
uh-huh.
And he's like,
Yes.
"Wait, is she breaking up with me? Like, what the fuck is going on here?" Which shows again how much he cares about Monkey even being around. Because he'd be like, "Oh, it is what it is. I got my daughter, got my body every so often.
Right.
That should be good." Um, So, yep, Lady Bozai, whatever. Lady Bozai knocks out the handler before heading inside, where she and Haruka engage in a tense knife fight. Haruka tries to reason with her, but the ghost of original Bozai taunts Akiko the entire time, pushing her into a deeper rage. I found that darkly funny.
Yeah,
It's like, what?
yeah.
Kill her. Just kill her. What's
Like,
taking
what
you
the
so
fuck?
long?
Stop fucking around.
Yeah.
We could have left already.
And there's a moment, and Haruka never says anything, but there's a moment where Akiko is on top of Haruka with a knife, and Lady Bozai's talking trash, and she turns and talks to her, and I'm like, that should have been the moment Haruka's like, oh no, because she's trying to like stop,
Oh
like,
yeah,
I got
who are you
this
talking
or
to?
whatever, yeah, like, hey, whoa, not only are you in here and talking crazy and wielding a knife, but you're actively talking to people that are not even in this room. What is going on? So yeah, and she is off the deep end. Akiko at this point. Like she is just foaming at the mouth and just screaming about revenge. Akiko blames Monkey for taking away the only thing that made her happy, her uncle. As she wrestles with her emotions and she seems to hesitate a little bit, Ghost Bullseye just uses her powers to stab Haruka. She just goes and sends the blade, stabs Haruka. Instinctively, Haruka grabs her sword and is immediately possessed again.
I was tight when that happened.
Like I said, it's all she got. It's all she's gonna do. The battle erupts into chaos. Ghost Bullseye fights Bryce. Akiko faces off against the possessed Haruka and Monkey. Then the co-op arrives in their helicopter. But Boone chooses to watch from a distance, choosing not to intervene. He's like, worst comes to worst, everybody dies. And we go down there and get the sword. It's all Gucci. So that already kind of told you, Haruka was already telling us that they may not be who they say they are, and in this moment you kind of just see it. They're like, we've done this for long enough.
It's the eyes, Chico.
They never lie. They never lie. As Haruka prepares to kill Akiko laughs. She mocks Haruka, telling her she's become exactly what she's accused Akiko of being. Accused Akiko is not very easy to say back.
Yeah, no thanks.
Haruka, realizing the truth in her words, lets go of the sword, depowering herself. And Akiko doesn't hesitate. She stabs Haruka.
That one hurt, bro.
Yeah, that one
hurt.
He's like, you're not the kind to kill, but I am.
Yeah, I saw that shit coming, bro. Fuck.
Oh, it sucked. Yeah, because so far
she was gonna be. Yeah, I thought she was gonna be the big homie for Monkey. I thought we were gonna have her at least for another season or two.
Well, you think she would be the one that saves them, and I guess she would have been had she survived. But at this point, they had kind of made it where like every character seemed invincible. Like Monkey's been shot, whatever, fallen off, whatever, and somehow lives. And then when you finally lose the one character who is truly just a human.
Yeah, I didn't think we were gonna lose one of the homies that were so close in that circle.
Oh yeah, for sure. It made everything feel like suddenly like, oh, it's real now. Like
for real.
They struck blood, like real blood, not like
stakes,
whatever.
Right? Consequences. Like we're not going back to the happy group of people that we had in the beginning of this show. We can't. Haruka's gone. Satisfied, both bullseyes leave. Yep, we killed her. It's time to go. Monkey is left mourning Haruka, while Boone casually takes the sword and departs with the co-op in a helicopter, and Monkey ends up joining them. This is crazy because like they zoom out like an aerial shot, and it's like Bryce dying in the water.
Oh yeah, you see everything, right?
You
see the whole thing, and the whole scene.
It's like this is like the all is lost moment. Like
everything that's happened in that spot, like the past 15 minutes, you see the aftermath of that.
That was supposed to be the safe house, bro.
Yeah,
like, they came
sanctuary.
They came through and got everybody. And Bryce is injured and barely conscious, and he's helped by the handler and Iris, but his fate is uncertain. With the relics finally in their possession, the co-op begins merging them. But just as Monkey is about to go on with it, he hesitates. The doubts of his fallen friends creep in, and for the first time, something feels off. And that's when Boone comes clean. Monkey's friends doubted the co-op because they didn't know the full plan. He's very confident, too. He's all like, you guys are just mad because you don't know the whole thing. Let me kind of spell this out for you. Every co-op member except Dot has secretly sworn to use the relics not to heal the world, but to destroy humanity entirely, which in their mind does heal the world. Because they believe that mankind does nothing but kill and destroy.
We have to
They're not
start
necessarily
over.
wrong.
wrong.
We have to start
All
over.
right, Thanos.
We
Yeah.
have to start
Skipping
over.
rocks, man. Sometimes you gotta throw a
Yeah,
rock.
that's-
He's winding up. Yeah, they made and also they made a deal with the devil too. By the way,
Everybody out here making
Yeah.
deals, bro.
on top. And Bryce's deal was just another manipulation to push Monkey into collecting the relics for them. Before Monkey can react, Boone mind controls him, forcing him to surrender the sword. I was like, that's low, bro.
Yeah.
That's low. That's low. You want to get the sword? Fight my
Yeah,
man.
fight my
Fight my
man.
man.
Yeah.
Don't use your little piddly
Fuck-
mind control
fuck outta
powers
here.
on a monkey. What's
Yeah,
wrong
go
with
get
you?
some fucking sleep.
Yeah, go. Yeah, my man
He
hasn't
look
slept
like
in a
he
long
hasn't
ass
slept in
time.
like 4 years, bro.
Yeah, he's got some of that
Since
Pete
that-
Davidson
he
stuff going on.
He hasn't slept since the last time he was on tour.
That's what it is. Those Galaxy Boys, baby. So, Monkey. Yep. So then Slike uses his powers to absorb Monkey into his mind, trapping him. Meanwhile, back in Montauk, Haruka is given a Viking funeral. Her body sent off in flames over the water, or an attempted Viking funeral.
Yeah,
She
something
shot
like
at
that.
it. Shot at it.
It was like on an inflatable air mattress.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I'm
Terrible.
expecting it to like something that like, light on. I'm expecting like it's a light on fire or something
Yeah,
once it
like
hits or something to happen.
Yeah, right. But they are saddened by her loss. She was
Yeah.
the conscience of this group.
As we all are, the big homie. I hate losing the big homies when I'm watching the TV show.
I'm telling you. And then you're like, oh, okay, well, Kiko's gotten some measure of blood, so it's all over. But then
Yeah.
she like destroys Lady Bullseye.
Oh yeah, but
that
she's
was
at
wild.
she's at the funeral though, bro.
Yeah,
Waiting for Monkey still.
yeah. And she pulls her into the salt water, and
The salt-
basically, I guess
I
salt
love
absolutely just
that.
destroys her and
Essentially
kills
drowns her and stuff. Yeah.
kills Lady Bullseye. Akiko in this is almost like a hurricane. Like, you never know when she's coming. We don't follow her
Mhm.
movements very much, besides like the stuff where the guy attacked her. She just shows up and is always ready to kill. It's on site every time she shows up, and it's always at the least opportune times because we're already dealing with the end of the freaking world. So it's like,
Yeah.
why are you here, Kiko? We're dealing with
Yeah.
shit right now, bro.
Yeah, this is bigger than us. Like
I openly sighed in the last episode when she showed up.
Mhm.
I was like,
Oh, buddy,
now,
I was devastated.
now,
I
after
was not
everything we
ready
just
for
did,
it. Like,
what are you doing here? Anyway, Dot, completely betrayed by her so-called friends, turns to Bryce for help, but the co-op quickly realize her defection. And before she could warn anyone, Psyche traps her in his mind as well. Slike traps her in his mind as well. But that's exactly what Dot wanted. Inside Slike's mind, Dot releases Bryce, who had possessed her body, to get in. Together, they navigate the psychic prison, trying to find Monkey. Dot manages to escape, but Bryce and Monkey spend way too much time bickering.
First of all,
Finally,
I would like to say that was the best. That was the best setup into exorcism yet that I've seen.
when he came out,
That
of
was
her.
the most happiest exorcism I've seen ever.
But when she goes in the brain, I was like, well, now what? Like, wait, what?
So I thought
what
that
do we do
I thought this shit was gonna be fixed 1, 2, 3 once he put her in there.
Yeah.
yeah.
And so when Bryce popped out, I was like, oh, that's pretty funny. But yeah, Bryce suggests a begrudging alliance. Like, I don't even care about you anymore, Monkey. I care about the world. I care about my daughter. You don't mess with me, so let's do this for Haruka, basically. And he's like, I miss her. And he's like, yeah, I know. I miss her too. But that's when they realize that they are not alone in there. Connor, Boone's other brother and the third Galaxy Boy, has been hiding inside Slike's mind. Turns out the government has been after him for years because he's a homicidal maniac. Now, with visitors in his domain, Connor makes his move, immediately attacking Bryce and Monkey. Realizing Connor is loose in his head, Slike panics. He tells the co-op to go ahead without him, and he has some stuff to deal with. Inside his own mind, Slike confronts Connor, but it's too late because we were shown a version where Connor agreed because of all the he made the situation hot. Because he made the situation hot, he agrees to lay low inside Slike's mind. That's the version of the story that we get up front. But it is revealed that Boone used his mind control to get Connor to agree to go into Slike's mind.
He's like begging.
Yeah, and he's been there for 25 years?
Yeah.
25 years he's been in there. Yeah,
he let him out at any point.
He said, let's all run away together as a family. And they were like, yeah, nah, I'm sorry. And they mind control him and they put him inside Slike's mind. And he's been there for 25 years. And then, Slike shows up to confront him. And I like that Connor's like, this is the first time you've been in here to talk to me in 25 years. Like, this man has been sharpening an axe this whole time. And it's too late. Connor finally realizes the real truth. Boone mind controlled him years ago, forcing him to allow Slike to absorb him. Enraged, Connor kills the shit out of Slike.
He does. He killed the shit out of him.
Yeah, he does.
But he just punched him to death.
Yeah,
right?
he just beat
him to death.
Yeah, beats him to death. Yeah,
beats him to death
in his own mind. Which then I'm like, what's gonna happen now? But I guess he just dies there.
Yeah, like you have to really hate someone to physically beat them to death. Like, that takes a lot.
Not only that, but at that point, Connor is reserved to his own fate because one would assume that if he beats the hell out of Slike, he can't get out.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't care. 25 years in that limbo, what does it matter? Anymore.
What's death?
At that point, once he's realized what the truth is, that he never had to be in here, that he was puppeted to be in here, it's a wrap. With Slike dead, Bryce and Monkey hijack his escape route using his mental construct as a vehicle to break free from the psychic prison. Back in the real world, Boone watches security footage of Monkey and Bryce escaping. He shrugs. Damn, that sucks. I guess they got to Slike too. But it doesn't matter. Nothing stands in their way between the co-op and their goal, activating a humanity-destroying weapon in Times Square. Boom, boom, boom. Because it got to be New York. Which, what are we doing out here in these streets? And now we are ready to discuss the two-part finale here. The co-op has the final relic, and it's now in New York City. This is when I was like, I don't even know how to describe this show anymore. Because using its mystical powers, it makes plants, vines, and trees shoot up through every crack in the city, even tearing through people on its way out.
Yo, that was
some
crazy.
Of the most
some of those shots
shit I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it was gnarly.
Man. Oh my god!
I'm like, this is Mother Nature taking control. Like, she's had enough. But watching just vines sprout, busting, people open like piñatas, sickening imagery. I kind of want to meet some of these animators and be like, "Hey, you all right? Cool. You all right?"
There was a shot that was well done. I forgot how it came about, but it was like one of those shots with the vines coming out. But it was like this shot was like more of the oh wow, how am I forgetting about that? Oh, more Last of Us than anything.
Oh, like of course.
Oh yeah.
So when that shit happened, you can see everything like sprout out of the pores and stuff like that. I thought it was really well made. That it fucking creeped me out a little bit. I was like, oh damn! Imagine being the dude to draw that up or whatever. That was a crazy right there.
Well, you often think, doomsday device, what's it gonna do? And then I'm like, oh, that's okay.
Hopefully the next one just blows me up because I don't want that to happen to me. That seems like the worst kind of death.
Oh my god, it's so horrific and so quick. Like the way it happens so quick and matter of fact. I'm like, oh my god, this is out of control.
No, the one scene where they're in the subway and it like shoots two vine spikes down into the women and then stabs through them
that was mean.
Gnarly.
That was mean.
Now we know what Groot could do if push came to shove. He want to take over the earth. Bryce, Iris, and the handler and Monkey scramble to come up with a plan. They decide to call in the handler's assassin contacts, but since they're not coming for free, they lie about a big payout to get them on board. Bryce then acts as a translator while Monkey gives them a pumped up speech, and eventually it rallies the assassins without having to pay them.
It was a
I
good
just love
speech.
that monkey. Yeah, I just love that
It was a
monkey
good speech.
gave a
It was
speech.
really good.
Yeah, I
Like,
love that. I love that Bryce also brought hammered it home that there is no money,
Yeah, yeah. It's like, oh, by the way, yeah, there is no money. There's no money here. And
not
they're
a
like,
cent, not a
ah,
dime.
freaking Gatling with his gun.
Exactly, yes.
He's like, hold on, it needs to warm up. We can't shoot
Uh,
right away. I'm like,
And to be fair, it's like, oh, when you hear that, it's like, oh, well, you're right.
yeah,
You might be
yeah.
right. Yeah, you see your point.
I play video games.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
a cool down. There's a cool down and warm up factor. It's totally a thing. Earlier, the handler had shown Bryce a huge bomb, and now it's their only shot. The team splits into two groups. One carries the bomb, and the other has a detonator. The bomb team navigates the train tunnels, getting close to the relic as possible, and once they're in range, the detonator will turn green, and it's time to blow up the relic and save the city. Iris stays behind with the handler and is surprised to see a woman she hooked up with among the helpers. She also helps with the bomb, too. Meanwhile, Monkey and Dot get ambushed by Double Tap. Monkey sends Dot ahead and handles Double Tap himself. They get into like a bit of a sniper sort of deal there. And Monkey is not, Monkey's playing
not
for
as
keeps.
good. Yeah.
Because we only need one gun guy. What don't y'all don't understand?
That was making me laugh too. He's like, I got 10 years worth of ammo.
Yeah,
Like
I said, holy shit. I said, holy shit, you gonna be there forever.
I got 10 years worth of ammo. I was like, damn, man, what we really finna do here? But yep. Monkey ends up taking him out. Boone now with they're getting closer to the relic, blocks Monkey's path. Oh no, Boone now one with the relic blocks Monkey's path and uses a mind control Dot to fight him, which is heartbreaking because Dot was the only one that really fucked with Monkey, and now she is fucking him up. Gashes and broken bones and all kinds of craziness because Monkey won't fight her. Bryce's team nearly gets stopped by Amara, who uses her powers to wipe out anyone helping him. But Bryce pulls a fast one using his ghost powers, letting him get the bomb where it needs to go. I thought that was very clever, where she hugged him and then he ghosted out.
Oh, that's first of all, that whole plot, that whole whoopsie psyche Mike whole thing. I love when that whole trope is done well, when I don't see it coming. Because I'm too much in my feelings and trying to get ahead of myself and thinking where we're going next. Oh man, that was awesome.
This is the measure of a good show because again, premise is ridiculous. Even this ending is ridiculous. But I'm fully invested. I want them to get to the relic. I want the bomb to go off. I want them to save the city. And so every time another obstacle presents itself, I'm finding myself frustrated and I'm finding myself worried about these characters because once the death of Haruka happened, I feel like everybody's kind of, up for grabs. It's open season. So, with the bomb in place, it's all on Monkey now. Boone mocks him, claiming the only way to stop the relic is to wipe out humanity. Monkey flips him off, which was a good character moment for Monkey.
The monkey, yeah.
Very human moment. Boone mocks him, claiming, did that already. But when Boone has Dot throw him into the air, the detonator slips away. Just in time, Iris, who has been fighting off vines, blows up the bomb, destroying the relic and making the plants disappear. With the immediate threat gone, everyone we care about is safe for now. Boone's body is mangled, but his corpse laughs as his glowing yellow eyes hint at something even worse. His shadow morphs into a hulking, monstrous figure as the episode ends. This felt like real third act comic book stuff. I'm like, okay, now like the beam in the sky is done, but now we still have to deal with this third act CGI monster. We still have to take his ass down. The explosion scatters shards of the mystic relic, and a few embed themselves in Boone, transforming him into a hulking undead force of destruction, hell-bent on proving humanity is not worth saving. The handler, Iris, and crew regroup with Bryce, Monkey, and Dot, deciding that their best shot at stopping Boone is that makeshift body disintegrator that Buddy made. Buddy's body, what you call it? Go ahead, brother.
Before you go further, the funniest part in this whole series to me was right before this part, whenever they're like trying to communicate, and then he's like, "Steve or the Cleaver's got your back," and they're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Who are
Who the hell is
you?"
Stu?
I
Yeah,
say, first of all, stop right there, guys.
it's like that.
Yeah, I don't understand, right? The level of like, because he was in the van with them trying to get away and shit. And I'm like,
Mhm.
oh no, they're saving this man. This man is going to get fucking busy with all these meat cleavers and vines. He's gonna go out in a blaze of glory getting gassed out, right?
Yeah.
The motherfucker gets jobbed, bro.
So quick. So quick. And it's like screaming as it happens. Like he is
Yeah,
terrified. He doesn't
in the
even like take it on the
way,
chin, like, you know what, this is a worthy death. He's like, oh my
Yeah,
God, please, for the love of God, save
and
me.
he's the one that
I
becomes
was
the
so
cordyceps.
excited. I was so excited to the point where I'm pretty good at seeing this kind of scenario unfold. So it's either you're gonna get a job or you're gonna get fucked, or you're about to lay down some business. And
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly thought that he was gonna lay down some
They set
business.
that shit up.
Yes.
They
I
set
thought he was
that
gonna.
shit up.
I thought, and he was quiet in the van for the most part,
I didn't
and
even know he was in the van until he said something. I was like, what the
I
hell is this?
he was going to put down some work,
No,
you know.
because as they're running away, he's like, "I'll
When
slow him
yeah,
down,"
I
and
was like,
then
yeah, time to shine. Let's go. I was like, tell him why you was in the van so quiet.
so yeah, sorry to step on
Ridiculous.
your
No, that was great.
buddy's thunder, but that was like my
Yeah,
favorite like
I
two
was,
minute thing that was so unimportant to anything because he's like, "I'll save it," and they're like, "Okay,
Yeah,
sacrifice
yeah.
yourself, save
yeah.
us."
And then I was and then Bryce in the van was like, okay, let's just go nuts. Okay,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, all right.
that was the funniest thing out of everything there.
Uh,
So my favorite part of this episode is the next part here where the van crashes and it flips and Buddy is trapped under some shit and Iris goes over to help him and Iris Buddy goes, you know what you have to do. And she goes, I won't leave you. And he goes, I didn't say
No,
leave me. What the
say
fuck?
leave
Who
me.
said
he's like,
leave
"Oh fuck
me?
no!" Like,
He's like, who the fuck said leave me? I didn't say leave me. That just, oh, that tickled the way that tickled me,
I
man.
told myself, yeah, it's funny because I told myself, oh well, fuck, we were all thinking it.
Yeah,
yeah,
you know what to
Yeah.
do. So just yeah, just as they put their plan to action, their van flips. Iris manages to spray Boone with the cleaner, weakening him, but she runs out before finishing the job. Boone moves in for the kill, but Bryce and Monkey leap onto his back, yanking out one of the shards. Instantly, they're transported to feudal Japan, where Boone, or rather the relic possessing him, I haven't figured out which one it is yet. I want to say it's a relic. I feel like that bomb did a pretty thorough
Yeah,
job
I'll
yeah.
say it's the
getting rid
right
of
too.
He
whoever
did some
Boone
work.
is.
He's just with it. That's all.
Yeah, he's being puppeted by this relic at this point. Um, he drags them through different time periods to drive home a single point: humanity is doomed to destroy itself. He tells Monkey that he doesn't belong and forces him to relive his own past. Born from lab-tested monkeys, saved by a human that was eventually killed, and ultimately finding acceptance in the tribe. But the memories end up shaking Monkey. What do you guys think of this kind of short but still impactful origin story for Monkey?
I like that he's more than just a regular monkey because it didn't make sense.
Yeah,
And then the fact that we get some sort of even superficial or comic booky thing is better to me. I mean, it makes me
yeah,
go like, oh, like
No,
what are they doing to
yeah,
this monkey? Like,
because there's something there now. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
So
he's yeah.
I could definitely appreciate that too to its fullest. Because
What what do you think of that origin, Jarvis?
I didn't. So here's my thing with it. I always felt like we needed something there for that, right? Just for another maybe an extra layer of monkey, but it's also good to find out like what the hell has happened to monkey since day one, and the fact that you get some of that for that thing going on with Bryce is I think was a nice little cherry on not a nice little cherry on top, but it was a nice little thing to put in the character for Monkey. You know what I mean?
That car crash was pretty gnarly. when when the woman who's trying to save him crashes and flips the car, and then he
Uh-huh.
goes up to the body and half of the face is
Yeah, half of the face. Yeah, I
burned
caught that,
off
and
in the
I wasn't,
snow.
yo, I wasn't, yo, believe it or not, I wasn't ready for that shit. I
That's what I'm
wasn't.
saying. Like you just
Oh
get these
shit.
sudden moments of like
Yeah.
really horrific gore, and it's paired with tragedy. You know,
Mhm.
like you have this baby monkey walking up to the one person that saved him, and it completely dead, have his
Hmm.
face shaved off or whatever.
And then you get
And
monkeys, and then you get the monkeys that, eventually take him in
they do take him in though.
because
They
they
do
show that
take him
they
in. So
also show
like,
that.
what's all this beef about? Like he's marked with man and never will be accepted. I mean, I feel like the monkeys took
Yeah,
him in. They side-eyed him a little bit. They smelled him a little
yeah.
bit, but it didn't feel like
Shit.
there
If
was any major
anything,
protest.
if anything, it was humans. It was the human that took him out of the cage that tried to save him.
Which then also makes sense that he would then take Bryce to the tribe when he finds him,
So come on, bro.
or
Yeah.
it's, or that he sympathizes with him a little bit and try to save him.
You trying to turn Monkey, but Monkey already knows what's up. Monkey already has had these experiences to make up his own mind, even if he wants to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So him just talking to Monkey is just like, I know this going. I'm like, man, shut the fuck up.
And
Go
again,
find a pillow or something, Bryce. Go sleep.
because the premise is so kind of funny, and we've been dealing with the human, like the human story, that Bryce has with his daughter and coming back to life. We often forget that Monkey is a character with his own feelings and his own motivation. So I like that we went back to his origin story. We were talking, Asa, about the body of the woman whose car crashed
Yeah.
with baby monkey in it and half her face being in the snow, burnt off or cut off or whatever the heck. Like all
Scorched
that.
earth one side.
Yeah,
I like
something.
the way it was shown was pretty lit.
Yeah. Um. But then, like as yeah, Boone is talking crap, Bryce just, I want to say he punches or he hits the final shard
Yeah, the shard, yeah.
Yeah.
out from Boone, and Boone
and
dies.
making that man take the dirt nap he deserves, or any nap he
Yeah.
deserves, to be honest.
Isn't he like he's like talking to Monkey and then he's like,
Hmm.
I know you can't kill
Yeah, I
me or
know you
whatever. And
can't
Bryce's
kill
like,
me. Yeah,
but I can, dude.
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
heard?
Yeah.
And he gets that final shard out of him. Earth is safe from the wild fauna trying to reclaim it. Um, and I love that they get back, like everyone gets back to the same place, and you see Boone like decrepit corpse dying or whatever, and then the handler just puts a couple more bullets in his head just to make sure that he's dead.
can,
Wait
can you
one
make sure he's
second.
dead?
Bop,
Can
bop, bop.
someone put a mirror in his nose?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Someone put a mirror up to
Yeah,
his
she
mouth.
she tapped him up until I, and it's funny because I'm like, all right, boom. She still ain't hit the brain yet, so this
There's
shit is
nothing
like that.
there. It's like
And
a
then she
skeleton
and then
with like
she kept
moss on
she
it.
kept she kept airing out the shotgun in his face until she hit the brain. And once he blah blah blue, when she gave the brain a nice little shot,
She
that was
felt
it.
better.
He felt better.
And so boom, like this is it. This, the third act is over. The big guy is destroyed. We get this beautiful, heartfelt conversation. I think the best one between Iris and Bryce here, where he's like, I'm going to
Yeah.
save 2 minutes and we're going to use these 2 minutes for the rest of your life. Like when you get married, when you have children, I'm going to save these 2 minutes. You'll see me for a
She's like,
couple of
Dad, I'm a
seconds.
lesbian.
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
well, like,
Yeah. He's like, go. Then he's like, I wish I was around for whatever. Like, I wish I was around for your marriage or whatever. Like that. She goes, Dad, I'm a lesbian. He goes, and I wish I was around to tell you that that's okay too. You know.
I thought that was cool. I thought that was
yeah.
sweet.
Yeah, and then he's like,
I thought that was
I
sweet.
wish, for you to have kids. He's like, I'm not in a rush. I'm just saying. And this idea is that he will show up in human form for seconds at a time, save
Mhm.
2 minutes for the rest of her life,
I
and
said that's
find a way to
excellent.
divvy these
That's excellent time management.
for the. I mean, it gets way better than
Yeah.
me.
I'm not nice.
Yeah.
I'm nice with time management, but that's mad nice. I broke that down in my head. I'm like, oh, nice. You have to be to do that.
Yeah.
I don't.
Like,
I
I
also.
thought,
Go ahead.
sorry, I just thought this was the most heartbreaking thing. Like where he's like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit here for I've already timed it out. I get to 2 minutes. I'll turn it off. I'll appear for a few seconds on all the major events in your life, and I'll go away. Like I'll always be around. You'll know I'm always here. You
And
won't be able to see me.
he's telling her this, right? And he's like, and like at the end of this like speech, I'm gonna go away. You just kind of
Yeah,
have to
it
believe that
was
I'm around.
just
I'm
yeah,
always
it
going to
was
be around.
it was just gut wrenching. It was so
I'm
sad.
I'm sitting there like, gosh, but then I'm like, what a poignant way to end this show.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
like, what a poignant
I
way they
da-
had this
I
kind of
da-
conversation, and
I
it's
damn near didn't think I was gonna care for that as much as I did towards the end,
well, you
and
know what got it
I'm
for
glad. I'm
me.
glad that that was the case.
What got it for me is Jason Sudeikis' voice acting in this moment. He's literally tearing up. He's literally choking up on
yeah.
his own words.
Hmm.
You feel emotion. If he wasn't straight up crying in this or shedding a tear while recording this, you could hear it in his mouth, in his
Hmm.
throat, in his voice. That how broken up Bryce is about all this, and you start off this show with this man not caring about anything.
Mhm.
Nothing. And now he can't, like, this should have been an open and shut case. She knows I don't hate her, and I know that she don't hate me, and I can live the rest of my life with that knowledge. No, I want to be in her life. I will never leave again, he says. Yeah, I'll never leave again. And again, I'm sitting there like what a way to, like pull back, pull back, have Ghost Bryce and Monkey walk off into the distance credits. But no, that would have been way too nice, apparently, because their farewell is cut short when a Kiko arrives out of nowhere. And I'm like, girl, read the room.
Somebody,
We just
somebody got yeah.
we just destroyed a
Man,
whole, we just like saved the world. You come in here with your petty bullshit and we just saved the
Somebody
world.
gotta
We got
hate.
time for this.
Somebody gotta hate.
She's a
Haters make
hater,
the world
bro.
go round, bro.
Hey,
Haters make the world go
hey.
round.
Play a haters
gang,
ball.
gang.
Yeah, play a haters ball.
It's a
So
monkey's mama's dish.
I'm yeah, there you go.
Sorry. Sorry.
Put some water in monkey's mama's bowl. Uh,
It's made of
so
monkey's pubic hair. Sorry. Okay, I
no,
won't.
you're
I
good. No,
won't do
you're
any
good.
more.
No, you're good. I ain't gonna stop you. So, um, she shows up out of nowhere. She flips a salt truck onto Bryce.
Yo, I thought that how,
Baller.
bro.
What a way
How
to
much
attack
of
somebody.
how much of a hater do you think you got to be
To roll
to
a
to
semi
roll
and then
to
you get out
roll
the other
yeah to
side.
roll a whole ass salt truck to get at the
That's how
ghost
salty she is, bro.
you don't fuck with like
She's so salty that
salt
she
burns.
flipped the salt truck on it. 100% salt burn.
Uh-huh.
He flips that truck, neutralizes Ghost Bryce, restrains the handler and Buddy, and pins Iris to a car. With everyone down, she turns to Monkey, and Monkey is over all of this. What a day! What a day! He just relived his own childhood, but
Mhm.
10 minutes ago, via Boone, showing him his origin. And now this woman comes and wants to fight him. He believed that he was following the co-op so he would never have to kill again. And if it's up to him, he won't. But now here's someone literally that will not stop until she is killed. So she just starts beating the hell out of him. And he refuses to fight back. Frustrated, she demands that he defend himself. But then he like literally pulls out his gun to show her that he's not going to use it. Drops it.
And just chucked it.
So she's like, all right. So she shifts her focus to Iris, threatening to take away someone that he loves. Some Monkey loves Bryce, and Bryce loves Iris. So Kiko sets her sights to Iris.
What a twisted domino. Like how you
For
get
real.
there.
Yeah.
I can't hurt you, or I can't kill you. I can't kill him, so I'll kill someone he loves because it'll hurt him and that'll hurt you. Like,
Yeah, and
God.
we just had the. I'm usually not one for like this reunion, whatever. Oh, everything's all is forgiven kind of stuff. But they played this well, that I was ready for this moment of him showing up for seconds at a time in her life, and now Akiko has a gun pointed towards her, and Bryce realizes there's only one thing left to do. So she opens fire on Iris, Akiko does, and Bryce turns back into human form and just takes those bullets, a bunch of bullets. And I think she even says, like, you can't do this forever. Like, you can't block these bullets forever. And in a last ditch effort, like I said, Bryce ends up saving his daughter's life. Desperate to stop the cycle of violence, finally, Monkey just stands up and he lunges. He grabs Akiko and takes her over the bridge with him, and they both plummet to their deaths.
With a hug.
Yeah, with a hug. And like there's like a look he gives her as they're falling
Yeah,
down.
right as they're falling. Yeah.
Like, Cause they loved that woman, didn't he, in season one?
Yeah, like that was like I think if memory serves me, like when he like she felt like home, like she
Yeah.
made him feel at home. So when she had to kill her uncle, it was he essentially casting away his home. So like it was very poetic. A lot of
Yeah,
poetic last 5 minutes of this episode.
100%. And another thing is like he's already dealing with the weight of what the things that he's doing, and then actively being told that he should die by someone that he used to care about. You know, all that stuff can't be good for his head. Well, he doesn't have a head anymore. But after they plummet to the depths, the devil shows up. Like, what up, everybody?
Right on
God,
time.
no, man.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, what is this ending? Like, it should have ended 10 minutes ago.
It
What's
was
going on?
infuriating.
Yo, I'm telling you, the shit was so over. The last 2 episodes or so, especially the last one, so overbooked. I didn't even care. It was just great.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
So many fire layers, bro, that come to a head.
So the devil arrives and he reveals his true plan. What he was really looking for was soldiers for his uprising, and he used Bryce to manipulate Monkey into dying, ensuring his place in Hell's ranks. As a twisted reward, he grants Bryce his human body back, mortal but also vulnerable and able to age like everybody else. Bryce tries to return to a normal life, but the absence of his old partner lingers. Until one day, the ghost of Monkey appears right there beside him.
Yeah.
And Bryce smirks. What took you so long? And that is the end of Hit Monkey season 2.
Wait. Also, before that, it's worth noting that Monkey looked pissed.
He did look
Yeah.
pissed. He
Almost,
spent some time in hell.
Like he looked
What
pissed.
deal did he make to come back?
Yeah.
I don't know,
on
but
Earth?
I like the switcheroo now. So the switcheroo is gonna be fire now. Now Monkey's the ghost with powers, and and Bryce is the one that's alive. So let's get to it. Season 3.
There's 2 moments in this that was just like, damn, they just kind of like sort of nailed that. I loved him messing with the salt at the dinner table.
Yeah,
Like,
that was
You know,
fire.
like
I
just
like
in
that.
his own head, just
Mhm.
messing with the salt. But the line from the devil / Mephisto when he leaves and goes, "Your hell's here on Earth."
mhm.
It just bounces out. I was
I
like,
was like, damn. I was like, shit,
God.
that fucking hit right there. That last line. I'm like, damn, that was. I was like, that was perfect. That made perfect sense. But damn, that was heavy.
And just drug it out. Heartbreak at the end of this. But All-Star Ace, so you were saying that we should be getting a season 3 soon, huh?
Yeah, they I did some Googling after I finished it again, and they said that it should be going weekly on Hulu in September 2025.
Ooh,
That
nice,
is
Steve.
exciting.
They said, hey, Jay, we're gonna give you something for your birthday month. Yay. Monkey.
I want this show to continue on in secret. Like, I hope
Yeah,
no one
I do
messes
too,
with
Yes, just
it.
quietly,
Yeah, no one
just putting out
messes with it.
seasons.
No, make it for us 3. I don't care. Just keep
Yeah.
making this show. We'll keep reviewing it. You know, it is what it is at this point. But usually, when these things get bigger than they're supposed to, that's when creative choices get made that end up kind of watering it down. And I feel like because it's been kind of left in its own vacuum,
I feel like we're right where we need to be.
yeah. And then I also thought I think we're talking a little bit off air about this, but like literally, man, we're going to freaking Battle World. There's no way. There's no reason.
Yo,
You
the
can't just have a
multiverse
sliding
is
shot and just
not
have a monkey in
complete
a suit. And
without Monkey in the
Jason,
lineup, bro.
I want Jason Sudeikis to play Bryce. I want him to be Bryce in the
That
suit,
would be fun.
in the green,
That'll be
side of
fire.
glow.
Only the people that watch the show will fucking get that.
It
shit.
could
That's
be a
it.
second cameo, like just like a
Just
camera
a pan through.
Yeah, camera pan. Somebody at the bar is a monkey with a ghost friend.
See,
Just
that's
sitting
how
there
you could
chilling.
do it. You just do a gut monkey with a ghost.
I would
and
lose.
there's
I would lose my shit.
Yeah.
I would run out of the theater and run around the block and come back to my seat for that shit,
I'm telling you, man.
bro.
But I think Jarvis is right. After 2 seasons, Monkey is the homie, man. I have real strong feelings about this damn
I do
primate.
too.
And I want him to succeed and I want him to be happy. I don't know what the rest of this adventure looks like now. Does Bryce now have to kill people? Does he just rope himself right back into this big world of assassins? What does the assassin world do with the knowledge that Bryce is now alive? Is he get a hit on him?
To be fair,
Right? Like
The
a lot of-
Japanese government.
yeah.
He tried to kill a politician. They knew who he was. They just dead.
Also,
Or he
nothing's
was.
been solved in Tokyo.
Yeah.
They left all that drama over there. Haruka came over here to help them
They
get their
left
help to
Tokyo
go back over
much
there.
later, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Like I will say, as much as I would, if they can do season 3 right and stop, like end it while the iron's hot,
Mhm.
I just think of like how great Breaking Bad was.
yeah.
And if they had did 2 more seasons, there's a good chance it doesn't hold up as much. And then so
100%.
like if you can hit a 3rd season just strong, just fucking crushing it writing wise, and then end it there, and then you give me a 2-second cameo at a bar in Battle World, I could walk away with my head high.
That's it. And the biggest thing
Walk
is like,
away with your head high, also schooling people onto
who the hell that was.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. We'd be nerding it up like there's a monkey in a suit. People be like it's a monkey in a suit. It's Battle World. But no,
Yeah.
you don't understand.
You don't know him.
That
You
monkey
don't know him.
saved the world.
Go to Major Issues podcast number 382 or whatever number we're on
Yo,
right
yo,
now,
yo.
and then you know.
100%. And that's the thing. Like, even if they left it open, if they left it open in the end of a season 3, and then you get a cameo like that, I'm happy to know that they just continue the adventures off screen. Like they're just doing their stuff there. And this series has a tremendous advantage almost over every single Marvel series in the sense that I don't think people are completely tied to the source material where they're gonna worry about Lady Bullseye. You know what I'm saying? Like that would have been a much bigger deal if there was Lady Bullseye and Daredevil.
Yeah.
You know, there would
You're right.
have been a million articles written, so much digital ink spilled over, I'm making everybody women or whatever. Nothing matters here. Yeah, nothing matters here. And because nothing matters here, everything matters here because you can do whatever you want.
Yep.
And I don't think other shows have that freedom. I think they're tied down not only by comic book sort of accuracy, but also years of continuity, right? 33 years of MCU films. So anything that comes out has to like fit a timeline, fit a section, fit a place on geography. Meanwhile, here you can destroy New York with a bunch of plants. It doesn't matter because nobody else lives here. So I just like that freedom there. But this was a lot of fun. That's what I walk away from this thinking. It did its job to make me care. I found my emotions all over the place. My emotions were everything that they wanted them to be at the moments that they wanted them to be, and that's just a sign of good storytelling. I recommend it. I'll probably put it on even like on an off day just to hear some of the dialogue and just watch some of the action scenes. But before we put this monkey to bed, get this monkey off of our shoulders. And do you guys have any lasting opinions on Hit Monkey season 2?
Everyone go watch it.
Yes, everyone go watch it. I don't even care if it's one person that I know that hasn't seen it that goes to watch it. I just know that it's going to treat everyone good if they decide to follow through, you know?
Yeah.
Also, Hit Monkey will be appearing in that Marvel Strike Force game I told you guys about. He hasn't. They don't have a release date for him yet, but he'll be coming up in one of the new releases.
Baby steps.
Oh yeah, we'll get there. And then, fun fact: an alternate version of Hit Monkey in the Secret War storyline shows he is one of the assassins sent to kill MODOK and Angela. So there we go.
Interesting.
So he is in Secret Wars.
So I mean, I'm telling you, put his ass in.
We get it.
Please.
And you got to see him in Rocket, man. Like I got to see what that.
Bro, I need all the buddies together, and I need Rocket. I need Rocket to be the one babysitting all of them, or at least running the daycare with Groot.
I need Rocket trying to talk to Lucky, the pizza dog, and being like, listen, listen. All right, you guys are smarter than this. You won't get on the same page. But you guys are going to want to make sure that you're on the same page with the Major Issues podcast. Because as All-Star Ace has said, this is episode 374. We're creeping up to episode 400 as part of the Major Issues podcast. And we do this each and every week as a labor of absolute love. This one was a bit of, it took a lot of work because this isn't as popular as a show as it probably should be, which means there's not a lot of people talking about it.
But we just love it so much.
Yeah, so I basically usually with other stuff out, I can use that as like a basis, or even like a if I'm second guessing how I interpreted a scene, if someone else broke it down, I can kind of, get on the same page. But this is all me. So I was like, I hope that's what the alderman, I was like trying to figure things out as it came along. But ultimately, like I said, I at first when I looked at the schedule, I was like, oh, this was something we meant to cover, but is this the right time? And I left with it feeling like every time's the right time for Hit Monkey. You can Hit Monkey is evergreen. You can check out this show whenever and have an absolutely great time. Just like you can check out the Major Issues podcast and have an absolutely great time. And with 374 episodes, I mean, come on, guys, that's over 400 hours of content. Free of charge that we do, like I said, a labor of love each and every week. You can find all those episodes at comicbookclique.com, as well as our store at Shop CBC. You can go to our Patreon, patreon.com/CBC Clubhouse, and for as little as 10 cents a day, $3 a month, you can help us afford the hardware and the software we need to keep providing you guys content free of charge. Like I said, purchase something from our TeePublic store or sponsor us over at Patreon. If you don't want to do any of that because, hey, money's a little tight and tax season is around the corner, then consider rating and reviewing us on iTunes. It's the quickest way for us to grow as podcasters and find out what you like and what you don't. Tell a friend to tell a friend. That's how a lot of our popularity has risen, just other people recommending us. Our numbers are up across the board on social media. This monstrosity of a company just keeps getting bigger and brighter and better. And it's all thanks to the support that you guys have and you guys have shown us on things like facebook.com/comicbookclique, Instagram at comicbookclique, and you're using that hashtag comicbookclique to talk about the newest, hottest, latest, and greatest things to come to comic books and comic book media. We're also at Major Issue CBC on Twitter and at Major Issue CBC on Twitch. Last year, I streamed the entirety of my first ever time playing The Last of Us, and The Last of Us Season 2 is around the corner. So it looks like I'm going to have to dust off my own streaming goggles and get back on to yelling and throwing cans and rocks at people from behind bars.
If you need number 2, I got you, bro.
Yeah. I'm always down. So yeah, man, we're always covering the latest and greatest to come to comic books, comic book media. We try our best here. We're moving the schedule around a little bit. So next week we'll be covering Invincible Season 3. Always forget what that thing's up to, but more violent animation. And then we'll be coming very soon into movie season. Things like Thunderbolts, things like Superman, things like Fantastic Four. It's going to get crazy. So get on the bandwagon before the bandwagon gets full. Go ahead and go to comicbookclique.com and check out all the stuff we do there. We write articles. We've been breaking some DC comic news lately. Having a lot of fun over there. We have all kinds of video content. We are still doing weekly hauls where Alex Garcia, aka The Cog, is showing what comic books he's picking up for the week and why. Major Issues is filmed live on Facebook once a week, and then the audio versions comes out every Thursday, so you guys can look forward to that. But also, if you go to comicbookclique.com, you'll notice that we share a little bit of that real estate with the cool kids over at DirtSheet Radio, the industry leaders in all things professional wrestling and pop culture. Those guys are heading into their busiest season yet, WrestleMania season. So check out all the stuff that those guys do over there. They are tirelessly working every single day. There is a post show.
Those guys finna be no sleep for like the next month, bro.
Yeah, they're gonna be tired.
Yeah, they're on it right now.
Yeah, it's gonna be bonkers, but they are doing so much great stuff in the world of professional wrestling and pop culture. They have post shows every single day for things like Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Impact, and beyond. And now with all these PLEs, all these pay-per-views, it feels like every week there's a pay-per-view or a PLE. And those guys are going to great lengths not only to watch it, not only to post live results, but then to do a post show. I love this relationship, the symbiotic relationship. You'll get to pick which one's a symbiote, but I love the symbiotic relationship between us and DirtSheet Radio. And you might be seeing some collaborations come soon in time for WrestleMania season. But be on the lookout for that, and be on the lookout for everything we do, because we get wild hairs and we decide random pieces of content sometimes. Sometimes we're just bursting at the seams to talk about the latest and greatest to come to comic books and comic book media. So make sure that you guys get on the bandwagon before the bandwagon gets full, or we're gonna flip this salt truck and ain't nobody gonna survive. So make sure that you guys are on, man, because it's always a blast. I always have fun. This is, like I said, it's a labor of love, and I love going back to these episodes because each one of them traps all the excitement that we have talking about the things that we love. And I mean, ain't nothing better than that besides possibly owning a monkey that could wear a suit. But yeah, that is all I got there. This will be the rare occasion I do not slander Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. So Dwayne, you listening? All right, I'm
Get ready for me. I'm kidding.
Okay. There you go. Yeah, and I was also pretty surprised that Monkey never like pooped in his hand and threw it, because that's the thing that
he has class.
Yeah,
he has class, bro.
Well, I mean,
He also has bullets.
That's
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
He throws those.
Yeah. Yes. So, get on the bandwagon before the bandwagon gets full. Follow us everywhere that we go. I've been to the future where we do become the latest and greatest thing to come to comic books, comic book media, but I can't tell you how we do it, because next thing you know, The Rock will poop in his hand and throw us Black Adam 2, and nobody wants that. So make sure that you guys are following us all over all the things that we do. We love you, but we got to get out of here. So there's nothing else really left to say, but my name is George Serrano, a.k.a. The Don.
All-Star Asa.
Ooh. Cloudus Maximus. You heard?
And this has been our Hit Monkey Season 2 recap and review. And remember, whether you're a ghost, an assassin, a ghost assassin, a hitman, a monkey, or a hit monkey, remember that we are the Clique. And always remember that you, yes, you, are worthy. Bye, guys.